Hello. So, what we doing? Video unavailable. Video unavailable. Nope, it's available. You just have to get off of Discord. Okay. Yeah.
I forgot I had myself muted in OBS as I was setting things up because it would have been significantly more interesting if I was not muted. There were a lot of bangings and crashings trying to get this set up. Let me tell you. Do you want to get on 1.6?
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
Alright. It was originally going to be with Ghostwalker, as you can probably guess, but he...
Mm-hmm. He has a paper to write.
Yeah, he has decided to
Paper.
leave, even though this was his idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yesterday was fun.
What happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday? Got wisdom teeth removed.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. Did I tell you about what happened?
That they took a few tries.
To knock me out, yeah.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Very interesting.
2 single doses, then a double dose.
You're impossible to knock out. Do you remember it?
Yeah, because it took them forever.
Okay.
It's like, up until the point, like, until it's all injected in there. So when they tried to do it on my left arm, I guess they couldn't get it all in the vein.
Hmm.
So they're like, well, we're switching to your right arm because your veins are bigger in your right arm.
I see.
And then it took about 2 to 3 minutes longer than it should have, but then I finally passed out, so.
Hmm. He's like, come on, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, there he is. How's the stream looking, by the way?
I can check real quick, hold on.
I changed the aspect ratio. It's right now because I have to play windowed in 1.6 for whatever reason. It won't let me full screen it. I just went ahead and went back to 16 by 9. No, not 16 by 9. Whatever the native YouTube resolution is.
Yeah.
And that looked a lot
16 by
better.
9, I think, is native.
And that looked a lot better.
Yeah, stream looks fine from what I can tell.
Good, because I'm running it at 60 FPS now at full resolution.
Good, good.
And apparently my computer can handle it, which is nice.
It looks fine from what I saw. I
Great,
still need to
epic.
fix my stream settings, though.
Mm-hmm.
They're all whack. So,
AMO.
what I find funny is it works perfectly fine. If I, just use it. If I use it while I'm streaming something private for, like, testing, it works perfectly fine. But then the second I actually try and use it, it just doesn't work.
I see the quantum stream only when unobserved.
Exactly. So, like, I can go back and, like, look at it, like, the unlisted stuff, and it looks perfectly fine. And then the second it's listed, it just doesn't work.
What do you mean? Does it just freeze? That's what mine usually
It
does.
freezes, like, every half second.
Yep.
And then stays frozen for about a minute, and then swaps frames. So it's like a 1 FPS stream.
Like more like 1 minute per
It's just
frame.
a slideshow, yeah.
He's like, ah yes, next slide, please.
Yep.
Where are you on the server right now?
Heading towards your base.
Alright.
Are those iron blocks? No, quartz. Oh, sad.
Yeah, I'm not building on iron blocks. What do you take me for? A rich
Whose
person?
armor is this?
What do you mean?
In the chest with all the minecarts.
I have no idea. What kind? Just iron armor?
Iron. Yeah, iron.
There's a chance it's my old armor, but I doubt it.
Eh. If no one takes it within the next 4 months or so, I think I'll grab it.
Just grab it.
Eh.
I'm not gonna use it. If I really need like emergency armor, I'll just make some.
The only thing I need it for would be repairing my current armor.
I see. Do you have enchants?
No, this is just flat iron armor.
I see. Poor.
I have 2 good sets. I just don't want to waste them.
Mm-hmm. It
I have no
says
reason to use them.
0 concurrent viewers, even though both of us are watching the stream. Actually, no, it
Well,
doesn't
I
count.
just closed it.
Okay, it doesn't count me, I don't think.
Yeah, and I closed the stream. Just save the
Yeah.
1% of resources that are being used up by keeping Edge open. Yes,
Yep.
I was looking at the stream on Edge and not
Edge,
Chrome.
how could you?
Because I haven't bothered to change my default browser.
Oh, okay, so it
Windows.
just opens it. I was
So
just copying the link.
Edge. No, I was just like, okay, if I'm just gonna see if the stream quality is good, then I don't really need to like copy the link and do all this fancy stuff. No,
Well, Edge doesn't count.
Edge is in a real browser.
Yeah.
Edge is the poor man's browser. Yeah, because I have Opera open right now at the same time.
Opera?
Opera.
Oprah. Yeah, I doubt
Opera.
that.
Hold on, how's it spelled?
Opera
it's
GX. Opera GX.
It's O. O-P-E.
It's opera. Like the music.
No, I refuse to pronounce things correctly.
I see, but at least you admit that that is the correct way.
I do admit that that's the correct way, I just refuse to pronounce it correctly.
Alright, fair enough. How goes the video? Did you make that video? I guess you did, didn't you?
Which one?
The one you're drawing for.
No, I didn't.
No?
No, because I have a good 10 videos that are like 80% ready to go. Because I have all the footage and everything. I just have to finish editing them.
I see. Yeah, I have
And-
times like that where we just get like stuck in editing.
Yeah, I'm just stuck in editing. Are you just mining sand?
Yep. I am. I'm pretty far
Okay.
along though. I'm hoping if I could get it done today, that'd be great.
But to remove all the water or just this section?
No, no, no. The water is going to take months at the very least. But just, I want to get rid of the sand.
Yeah. Or most of it.
Yeah, off
Leave
the
a little
water.
wall up.
Yeah, right. I just want to get the sand out so I can set up the AFK again.
So, okay. Game engine wise though, I think I'm doing okay at the moment.
Good.
So, there are 3 methods that I can, because I'm currently need to redo the sprite drawing thing. So I can do it the correct way, which is where you convert, well, you have something that automatically converts the sprite format whenever it's compiled, and then you have that run through a class that then renders it. I can do it the halfway correct way, where you just write a separate script that converts it to a format that's readable by assembly. Or you can do it the not at all correct way, which is the simplest way, and you can just write
Oh, there you are.
you can convert it to a
You-
format.
If you want to
That is
help, there's a
readable
chest
format.
over there that if you could grab some sand and take it back to the main area, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
that's what I'm doing, just like last time.
I mean, like, there's a chest that's full of sand.
Yeah.
That, it'd be great if it was emptied.
Okay, where is said chest?
Just walk that way, you'll find it.
Oh, I see it. So yeah, basically, at the moment, the problem with the sprite rendering class is that you can't draw the same sprite twice. If you draw twice, it erases.
I see. So you can't just, like, have a
Yeah.
bunch of contingencies, blah.
So I have I have 2 ways of dealing with this. Number 1, actually fixing that class and removing the erasing thing and putting it into a separate class. Or number 2, I can just include that class inside of every sprite object and just have a bunch of those separately, which would
So,
work perfectly fine as long as everything has a different name, which everything would anyway, so it wouldn't matter, but it'd just be slightly less efficient.
here's my question. So you said you want to fix the class that's
Well,
doing the deleting.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
what I would suggest is if you're already going to do that, you'll probably want to if it's doing like an if it's drawn then erase it sort of a deal, just put it in a separate method in the class.
See, I would, but then that would require a bunch of weird stuff, and
Like
I don't
what?
feel like doing that.
I mean, that
Like
should
actually
be
going back through and doing some other things correctly in the file as well.
like what?
Oh, the usual. Like actually reorganizing the entire thing to get it to work correctly, instead of just calling back to some weird format that shouldn't even exist.
All right.
That'd require, actually fixing something.
Actual programming.
Yeah, no.
Come on,
Or I
where's
could
my
just
jump
make-
boost at?
Or I could just make my brain dead version of it, where there's just a Python script that goes through and converts the sprite and the object all into one big assembly file. And then I can just reference that and forget about everything.
Okay.
Which I guess that'd work perfectly fine either way. But the lazy method would probably be a bit worse performance-wise. But then again, I'd have to do it correctly in theory. I don't know. Because then I'd have to implement collisions.
Well, I'd suggest doing it correctly the first time, because you will regret it if you don't.
Yeah,
Because
but
then you'll.
if I do it correctly,
The thing
that
is, doing it
requires
correctly.
rewriting the entire thing.
All doing it correctly the first time means is that you won't have to do it correctly the second time. Because there will be a second time.
You see, either way is technically correct, kind of. The only issue with it isn't that it's correct or not, it's just speed.
I see. So you're trying to get it out as fast as possible?
Yeah, so I have the choice between A, either making the thing run like 2 times better, or when it renders a sprite, or B, I can just get the thing done in half the time.
I see. You're sounding like a game developer already.
Yeah, so I have the choice between, efficiency or just speed in writing code.
Make it efficient, because you'll be able to reuse it.
True, but I can reuse it still if it's not efficient.
Yes, but then it'll be not efficient every time. If
Yeah,
you
but
make
then
it
I can just turn
efficient,
around
if
and
you
fix it
spend
later.
double time, if you spend the double time once, then you'll have efficient code forever.
True. The other thing, though, is I need to worry about a third dimension in sprites, which normally you wouldn't have to worry about that. But I do plan, at some point, to add some sort of 3D capability.
I see.
In terms of, like, being able to render 3D objects. Have you seen Randall?
No.
Have you seen Danny?
I mean, I don't think so.
Okay. So, Randall's basically like an Aussie game dev, who is writing a game on a custom C++ engine that's in development at the moment. That's not fully publicly available, it's partially publicly available. But what he's doing for his game, because it's all pixel art, what he's doing instead of actually drawing it, the pixel art, is he's using a 3D model and then turning that into pixel art at runtime, basically. Or making it appear like pixel art. It's just a shader run over it.
It's just that seems way harder and like way worse. It just looks like it looks worse.
No, have you seen the game Dead Cells?
I think I've seen it.
It's basically the same concept, except instead of having animations that are just pre-recorded from a 3D model, it's made at runtime, so it's way smoother.
Okay.
Basically, that's the idea. There's no transitions from it, like rough transitions like you get in most pixel art games.
Like, I'd just rather have hand-drawn stuff.
If done correctly, it looks really good, though. If done correctly.
But does it look better?
It looks about the same, honestly.
No, it doesn't.
If you run shaders over it, it should look roughly the same.
What are you on?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Well, if you've seen Dead Cells, it looks almost exactly the same. There are several games that use that tactic.
I know. I've seen it before. And it just looks very off-putting.
Yeah, but if you do it right, you shouldn't notice.
Well, you say that like the examples I'm talking about aren't ones that are doing
Well,
it
it
right.
depends on what the game is. Because, like, a short hike is supposed to look like it was being run on, like, a 3DS where you can see the pixels, but at the same time, it's still 3D.
Yeah, a lot of
That's
like
different.
I've seen a lot of Unity games that look like that.
Where they just run a shader on that, yeah.
Yes.
That's a common
That's
effect.
not what I'm talking about.
No,
But
what
I
I'm
have
talking
seen
about is it just turns it in. It runs a shader and then runs a shader over that shader to make it look exactly like hand-drawn pixel art.
I don't know what your definition of exactly is, but casting at 2 pixels.
Anyways, but anyway, I'd like to have the ability to do that, or at least render some basic 3D stuff. Like, it doesn't even have to be super good. But I'd like to have some sort of 3D rendering thing. That's a problem for later me.
Mm-hmm.
And not current me.
Well, you
But
know
I'd
what
like
else
to at
would be a
least
problem for
store a
later
third
you?
dimension.
Inefficient code,
Nah, that's somebody else's problem.
aka later you.
No. I mean, if someone actually uses this, then that's their problem if they have to worry about efficiency.
You mean like if you use it again?
No. You see, if I use it again, I'd find some dumb workaround to not have to rewrite the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. But then
Like,
you'll
I'd
have a
just
game built
lower
around a
the
dumb
same-
workaround.
Yeah, but it worked perfectly fine for that
I have
one
seen
game.
this mentality in action at work, and it is not. It is not fun to have to deal with. All right.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I'm going to be doing this incorrectly anyway because I'm feeling a bit lazy at the moment. So I'm not, instead of, having this done correctly, where you have, you write in, say, C or C++, and then you convert that down into assembly. So then you can convert that into either ARM assembly or x86 assembly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lazy way out, where the entire thing's going to be written in ARM assembly, and then just run an emulator over precompiled ARM assembly for PC, so I don't have to write x86 because I'm feeling lazy.
I see. Just feeling lazy today.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is hopefully get like a Game Boy Advance emulator because that's only one screen, and then basically just hard code the GBA binary into the emulator. Which it shouldn't matter in theory because considering anything over like 2 gigs of RAM on a PC should not matter. Which that's like the bare minimum, so it really shouldn't matter unless you're trying to run this on something from like 1996 that's a PC.
Like a DS.
Which the DS it'll be more efficient on though because the DS is ARM assembly. So I can just make a straight I can just make a straight DS binary.
Okay, but what if it's
No
something like the
inefficient.
DS that doesn't have?
That isn't ARM based.
Yeah, that isn't ARM.
I can't really think of any handheld consoles that aren't ARM-based.
I know they're out there.
Yeah, there are some out there. Well, I mean, the Game Boy is, but there's already a game engine for the Game Boy, so it doesn't matter.
Alright, I've almost got another thing of sand coming. There's more. Did you get the more in the chest that I put?
Yeah, I got all of it already.
I mean, because it was empty, and then I came back and put more.
Yeah, I saw.
Alright, good. Good. My loyal
Anyways.
minion.
Yeah, you need to get to work on this, honestly.
I do. I'm gonna start on it probably before it's all drained. I'll start tearing it down to bedrock.
No, I was talking about game engine, but sure.
Oh. That
I was
too.
like, you need to work on this.
Well, I've been busy. I've been all coded out. Cause like I told you, that's what I do at work most of the time.
Well, if you don't want to do
Also, here's some sand.
hardcore coding, what you can do is you can just sit there and suffer through Python.
Oh, that's my shovel. Can you give me
Hold
my
on.
shovel back?
There's your shovel back.
Thank you.
Alright, I'll go dump this off.
Excellent. Oh, and here comes some water. Oh, more not.
Anyways, so yeah, the only
Yeah, because
I
as
can't
I
really think of any new-ish things that aren't ARM-based that are handheld. Like most phones are ARM-based. The only handheld consoles that I can really think of that aren't ARM-based are like the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, which
okay,
there's already a game engine designed specifically for them. So if you really want that platform, you can just write your game in a different game engine.
if you just really want to market to the Game Boy owners out there.
Yeah, well, which this would just be Game Boy Advance and DS focused mainly.
Yeah.
Which it
Which,
should work on other platforms as well, just running on an emulator.
but I must ask. So I know you've done a lot of work. I don't know how much progress, but you've done a lot of work on the engine. But do you have any plans for an actual game? I mean, outside of just
Um,
it's going to be a procedural platformer.
See, I have several ideas for a game. I was actually going to talk about one of them. I just don't know if I'm going to do it in this engine. So you know the game Stray?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yes. So most people, when they open Stray, they're just like, "Oh, it's going to be a chill game about a cat." No, it's not exactly the most chill game. It's fairly chill, but it's not like the most chill game. So what I was thinking of is having a game where kind of like Stray, it's a puzzle game, and the main character is a cat, but instead of just trying to solve puzzles to get to the surface, what you're trying to do is there's a mechanic basically where you can sleep, and sleeping will send you to another dimension called like the dream world or something, and you can transfer items between the real world and the dream world, and you can use that to solve puzzles.
Okay.
Basically that, but with like no story or anything, just a very simple concept for the most part, or very minimal story.
Okay.
Because Stray is mainly a story-focused game.
Yeah.
But yeah, something of that sort. That's one game I'd like to make, and then there's a platformer game I'd like to make, of course. I have several ideas, I just don't know whether or not I should do, because that one that's kind of like Stray I definitely wouldn't do on my engine. I'd do it on something like Unity. For the sole reason of it be all 3D. But yeah,
Yeah, I would like to do my engine, but yeah, I've just been pretty busy. Soon,
you
though.
can suffer through my engine.
No.
Yeah. Well, I
That
mean, it depends. As long as your engine doesn't need to be the most efficient thing ever, it should be okay.
no, I want it to be very efficient if I can.
Because the only major inefficiency in this game engine is just going to be putting on anything that's not ARM-based.
I see.
Everything else should be fairly efficient. Should.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to do the yeah, I think it'll be pretty easy once I get back into Java programming. Pretty easy to
Complains about my engine's efficiency when it's in ARM assembly, then proceeds to say, "I want to write my thing in Java."
No, the thing is it efficiency is not just bits used up, it's also how you write it, right? You could write
Yeah,
something in assembly and make it a complete mess.
you
And even
could.
if it's that little bit faster than whatever I've done, I'd rather have something written well than something that runs fast.
I'd rather have something that's a bit of both.
I mean, obviously, if it's well written, you expect it to run fast. But what I'm saying is, even if you're running in just a faster language in general, I'm not gonna say it's been written better or written more efficiently when it's a total mess.
True.
Which
Have you seen OpenLore GBA?
no,
Or have you seen the port of Quake to the GBA?
no.
So basically, you know what OpenLore is?
Sounds familiar.
You know Tomb Raider, right? The original Tomb Raider game.
Yeah.
There's an open source version of the engine called OpenLaura.
Okay.
And someone managed to port it to the GBA,
Oh, it's water.
which has like a third of the specs required by it.
I see.
And it runs at I think like 30 FPS, which
Neat.
isn't too bad. But they wrote the entire thing in ARM assembly, and it works like 99% flawlessly. There's like one or two spots that are a little jank, but besides that, it's fine.
Alright, I gotta fill this in. See, I've been
But
messaged.
it's written using some nice calculations to figure out the minimum amount of drawing possible.
I see.
And
Guys,
then the
what I was going to say earlier is I'm still going to do the ASCII stuff, but I'm going to use an actual window for it instead of using the command line. 'Cause then I can actually run it at a
If you're gonna
higher...
do the ASCII thing, you should probably switch to a different language. Something
Why?
that's actually better.
Why?
Because then you wouldn't have
What do you mean by
to worry
just...
about
What do you mean by
window.
better? There is no better.
Yes, I'm gonna use a mostly dead language to write my game. Yes.
Yes. Mr. Gopnik over here. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, DS. People will buy my game,
I'm
definitely.
just using a dead device to base my engine off of, man.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to hear it. It's not a dead language yet. It's just a language that no one uses.
I was saying, how is Java a dead language?
Because not very many people use it anymore, or compared to how many used to.
Well, you're
It's like
using it right
Pascal.
now. Guess what this game's programmed in?
Hey, this is one of those weird scenarios, okay?
What, just the odd one out?
This is like the main thing that has Java in it these days.
Yeah, and that's the reason to keep Java updated is Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft is the only reason to keep it updated.
Yeah,
That, and it kind of looks bad if the log4j exploit stays there.
what, for Minecraft or in general?
Or just in general.
Alright. Still. So the
Those are
current...
the only two
I'm
reasons to
I'm
update.
still gonna use Java.
Eh.
I don't care what you have to say about it.
Honestly, it'd be better just to write it in like C, C++, or even Python would be better because you can have a separate input manager and just run the whole thing in command line.
No don't mention the name Python.
Don't mention the
Don't say that
inefficiencies.
name to me.
Yeah, so
That's
I
kitty
could-
stuff.
yeah.
Get out of here with
So I
that.
could have written my game engine like the GUI in C. But where's the fun in that? Because that would take, I don't know, like a normal amount of time? Nah.
Yes, Mr.
Here
Cutting
we write
Corners
it in-
out here.
Here we get a port of a library from C, run it in Python, and then use the inefficiency from that to create said game engine GUI. Yes. It is the most broken library. Horrible documentation, all the good stuff.
Yes, Java's the dead language, yes.
Yes. Python's definitely not a dead one. It's just a really bad one.
Worse than Java or better than Java?
It really depends. Speed-wise, if you're running stock Python, it's worse than Java. If you're running it converted to assembly or C at runtime, it's better than Java. But that, requires actually running it with a thing on it and doing more stuff whenever you compile it, which takes like 30 seconds. But who wants to spend that little time?
You mean that much time?
No, that little time. Because whenever you spend a whole 30 seconds optimizing your code, I mean, oof.
I could be doing something useful for those 30 seconds.
Yeah. I could be making it less efficient.
I could be making a Hot Pocket.
Yeah. I could be walking up the stairs to go and make the Hot Pocket.
I could be doing nothing.
Exactly. You understand the reason why that you don't optimize your code.
See, that's the thing. So, did I tell you what I do at work?
A little bit of it.
What have I said?
The only thing that you really told me about what you did at work was you broke something on like a website, and then you spent the whole day fixing it.
Well, you're gonna have to be more specific about that one. But
That was the only thing that I've really heard. So
that notwithstanding, oh my helmet is has seen better days. But I'll fix it. I'll fix it later.
someday.
So what I'm doing is I'm rewriting this site, right? And it's mostly just array manipulation.
Yeah.
And so the way it was written before was like, you know how you try to carve out little efficiencies here and there, right?
Yeah.
So this was like, so I'm trying to scratch my leg. This was quite bad. So what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to create all these charts. And then you run a for loop to create the charts, looping through the data you've got, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then what it was originally is that on each iteration of the big for loop, it would run through all of the charts again for no reason.
Did you just remove that?
Oh yeah, I nuked all of the stuff that did that. So now we're just down to the bare minimum number of for loops. So we have made it to square one.
So basically, all you do is just go back behind and optimize the stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Just make little. Right now, I don't know much about like speed optimizations. I'm mostly trying. Oh, you're in my way. I'm mostly trying to just make
Just
line up.
lessening the number of things that happen, basically.
I'm just trying to make it organized and readable and make fewer lines and just kind of chop out everything superfluous. Everything that doesn't need to be there.
Oh yeah, Mr. Saucy's website though.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Straight out of 2000.
Although, have you ever messed with JavaScript?
Yes, I have.
Also,
One
Sandman,
time,
come here.
And then I never looked at it again.
So the thing about JavaScript is it's really lenient. It lets you get away with a lot of things that
Okay,
you
I'm
normally wouldn't. Like for example, you can redeclare variables. You can leave out semicolons. You can use variables out of scope, and it works.
So what you're saying is it's the equivalent of Python in those terms.
If that's what Python does, then yes, it is.
Yes,
like
it's basically the exact same thing, just even simpler.
it's like if you were writing in Java, except it holds your hand the whole way. It's like, oh no, you shouldn't do that, but I'll let you do it this time. It's like how there's only one type of variable.
Yeah.
There's no ints or strings. It's just var.
In Python, there are ints and strings, but you don't have to say this is an int and this is a string. You can just say Bob equals 0, and it will just infer that that's an int.
No, that's what JavaScript will do, but you can change it. You can have multiple variable types in one array.
Yep.
You can have array. Objects are really fun to mess with, though. I wish I had objects like that, because you can have objects of anything, and you can have objects of arrays and arrays of objects. Well, you can do that anyway, but like, you can go as deep as you want without it like caving in on itself like Java will. In Java, if I tried to do that in Java, it'd just make a complete mess.
So it's basically the equivalent of Python to C.
Yeah.
Because Python is just built on top of C, and it's basically just like using simplified C.
Yeah, JavaScript, like all the documentation I've read, it says that JavaScript is unrelated to Java, but I don't think that's true. It's really similar in a lot of areas.
From what I've read, JavaScript was just like based on the same principles as Java.
It doesn't have any of the language behind it the same.
Yeah.
But
it's based on Java, like it has the same. It looks similar.
It does.
But it's not actually the same thing.
Looks similar, writes similar.
Yeah.
Like whoever wrote this, as I said about the semicolons thing, like they said, "Oh, you don't have to have semicolons. Guess I'm not putting a single one in here."
Exactly.
So I have been adding semicolons everywhere I go.
No. You need to leave them off, man. Space,
No.
efficiency.
I must remove all the yellow lines.
Every single minor error.
Yep. Some of them are unavoidable. because arrow notation is only available in certain versions, so it'll warn you for that.
Yeah, I used JavaScript one time and then just never looked back at it again.
Yeah, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't, but hey, at least I'm good at it now.
Yeah, I just use HTML and very rarely CSS.
See, the thing is, I learned HTML, like, the very basics. I knew how to, like, I knew to do the hello world equivalent, right?
Yeah.
But now I know
HTML,
way more than I ever thought I would need to.
I literally learned HTML in like 3rd grade.
Here, would you like some sand?
Yeah, just throw it over here.
Alright. Just stay still. Stop moving. Oh, it won't let me do the
Funny
thing.
though, because in like middle school, teacher was like, "All right, kids, today we're gonna learn coding. So this is called HTML," and I was just like, "I did this like 4 years ago, lady."
Mm-hmm. That's me with my computer science 101. Because it's in like this. It's in C++. I don't really care for C++.
Nah,
But it's
C++
all
is great.
it's all incredibly basic principles. Like, I'd rather just be doing C if I'm doing C++. Like, what's the point?
Honestly, they're pretty similar. You can use them together. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, why would I be using C++ if I could just use C? That's just
C
better.
is just ever so slightly better, like efficiency-wise, but C++ is just simpler.
Yeah, I don't care about simpler. Give me hard mode.
Then you could suffer through DevKit Pro, but no. No.
Yeah, well, hard
Yeah,
mode that I can
I've-
actually run on devices that I'd like to use.
Honestly, I just find it funny if my stuff runs on obscure platforms, because it's just that much more funny.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing
You know,
about Java is you can put Java just about everywhere if you try.
Yeah, it's on the DS, but it's not a good idea to put it on there. Just don't. That's just my warning. Just do not try.
You have made me want to try.
It exists, but it's so horrible. Oh, just don't. It's like Python's on the DS, but it's so horrible, just don't.
Okay.
There's also Lua. Also, don't try that.
I don't know what that is.
You don't want to. Disgusting.
I see. You should have just said, like, oh, keep it that way.
Yeah.
Horrible things.
Horrible, nasty things. It's those people who are too lazy to write in C, but at the same time have enough time on their hands to go make this whole workaround so that they don't have to write in C.
I see. It's doing more work. It's doing a lot of work to do less work.
Yeah, basically.
Being lazy is a lot of work, you know.
Yeah. But Java on there is, if I remember correctly, it's the exact same way that Python's on there, where you load you load a binary that then reads Java, and you can't have just one binary. You have to have several files to get it to work. And if the
see.
slightest thing changes on your SD card, it's screwed. From what I remember.
Okay.
So you're better off just writing in C if you're gonna do that. But you're better off not writing in C, because if you write in C, the guy who maintains the toolchain, DevKit Pro, I've heard he's not the greatest person.
Yeah, you told me about that. See,
Yeah.
I'd rather just... See, I don't really intend to make a game for the DS. I mean, if it works on the DS, great. But the point is to make one for computer.
Yeah, see, that's something I've always wanted to make a game engine for the DS, because one already exists, but it's pretty terrible. It's called DS Game Maker, and it was made by like a 5-year-old.
In Python, probably.
No, in C++.
Lies. We all know 5-year-olds can't do C. They speak Python.
See, Python wasn't the same.
Oh,
back
C++
then.
then.
Yeah, it was C++.
That makes a little more sense. Stop stealing my torches.
I don't have any of your torches.
Really?
Yes,
Where'd
you
they
can
go?
look at my inventory. I have no torches in my inventory.
Well, I'm short a few torches.
I have absolutely none in my inventory.
I'm sure they'll turn up.
Someday. If I had a pickaxe,
Oh, we
here, I'd
had a
just start
viewer at
mining
one
immediately.
point. Well, that might have been
Hey,
you.
that might have been me just popping in to check the
Like, I'm
stream.
just looking at the thing. That reminds me of the last stream. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolute chaos. Actually, I told someone I actually got it uploaded finally because I was able to trim out the IP.
Yeah. Why don't you just have hidden mode on?
I did, and it turned it off.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was on, and then it was not on.
Ah, yes.
I swear.
Yeah, when you said last stream, I was thinking of my stream with potatoes. I
No,
think
no, no,
this
not
dude's
your
getting
last
views.
stream. My last stream.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there was that stream with potatoes where he had a whole, like, 6 viewers.
Yeah.
Just random people. They had a whole discussion about pineapple and pizza and things.
Yep.
Have you watched through that?
No, I haven't. But what I was going to say was that other stream. Do you remember what happened in it?
I remember some of it. I just remember we mined sand for the longest time.
We did, but I mean like the conversation.
I remember several of the conversations.
Not anything in particular. I just mean in general, because it was chaos.
Yes, it was like there was a conversation about having the stabby ultra saver stuff
Yep.
and some other things.
What I was going to do, I told Potatoes about this, is that I was going to like do little animations of some of the things, because it was a riot, is what it was. Let me tell you.
Yes,
I don't think you were there the whole time, but yeah, I was quite.
I was there the entire time.
I couldn't remember if you had left or not,
No,
but it was
I
it was an
I
experience.
was the second to last person to leave. You had already stopped streaming,
Yep.
and I was just chilling there.
You were chilling there with Bailey, right?
Bailey and Mr. Saucy.
Yeah, I remember because he had gotten on very late, right at the tail end.
Yeah, so I stayed on with him for like another 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
After you stopped.
So I was going to do little animations of some of the funnier stuff that happened. Would you want to do that? Like, you've seen the little animatics people do for YouTubers.
Yeah.
We could do those. We could do
maybe.
those.
I have one of your torches
Give.
placed.
Thank.
That was an advanced conversation.
It was
Ah, yes. But yeah, now I need to...
truly ahead of our time.
Yes. Now I need to kidnap you to suffer through Game Engine.
Yeah.
So...
But would
Did
you
I
want
tell
to
you
do that to animate, like just, I don't know, like 5 or 10-second things? Because I know you've got the tablet.
Yes, yes I do. I
You
just don't
better
have the
use it.
motivation.
I see. That's the one thing you don't have.
No, my motivation is currently all funneled in one direction, and it's just the Game Engine.
I see. I'm almost full here.
Which I usually work on the Game Engine for like 2 weeks straight, and then I'll stop for about a month, and then I'll hit it again hard for another 2 weeks.
I see.
It just depends, because I get burnt out fairly quickly if I do it day after day.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's like the GUI is like halfway done, like the front end. The back end is like halfway done. I just need to, in some way, shape, or form, redo sprite rendering, and then come up with a collision system. And then come up with a way to link scripts to objects. And then the back end should be done. The front end just needs a way to link with the back end, and it needs the actual like how Unity has the scene thing where you can place stuff. It just needs that thrown in there, and it should be pretty much done.
Interesting.
Um,
I'm just about full of sand here.
All right, I am full of sand,
All right, I'll head back
so I'll go
too.
dump this. Anyways, but yeah, so it's mostly done. Did I tell you about all the trouble I had with libraries?
Yeah.
I have rewritten the GUI on that game engine 9 times
Interesting. And you're still
because I was
counting?
too lazy to actually do the research.
Ah, I have fallen into a hole.
Oh no. So, short explanation. The first time I did it, I tried to write it in, everybody's favorite, super generic, basic GUI library in Python called Tkinter.
Decanter?
It's just Tkinter.
Okay.
It's spelled, yeah. And so I tried to write it in that, but fun things happened. Headphones fell off, for a second. Fun thing happened, and I couldn't get it to work in just that. So then my second attempt, I tried to rewrite it and render everything with OpenGL. Needless to say, that didn't work super well. It worked, barely. Kind of. Not really. But it was super slow and super dumb.
I see.
So then I switched libraries to, what was it called? There's another one. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but there's another library that's really popular for, generic GUI rendering. And I tried to do the exact same thing with that. When that didn't work, I then switched to rendering that with OpenGL. And so that was also kind of slow and very inefficient. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to switch libraries again because this isn't working. So then, redid it again. But this time it was in Pygame, if you know what that is.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we're almost done.
Then I realized I'm stupid. And I wrote it in Pygame and not Pygame GUI, which is literally meant for what I'm trying to do, or kind of meant for that. So then I rewrote it in Pygame GUI. And then I realized I'm dumb. And then switched to an actual library that was meant for building game engines in, which is the current library I'm using. Which it's literally its only task is just to build game engines.
I see. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. Like, it can do other things, but you're better off just using a different library to do other things. So, yeah. So then I switched to this. And then I realized, oh, I'm dumb, and I wrote the entire thing wrong the first time. So then I rewrote it all again in the same library, with some major changes, updated version of the library, fun stuff. And then I realized, oh wait, I screwed it up again, and that broke the resizing thing. So then I rewrote it for the final time, and that's where I'm at right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, I plan on making this a whole YouTube series.
I see. The play.
Yeah. Making a game engine with no experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if you coded before, there is some experience. But maybe no experience coding game engines.
That's what I'm saying. No experience making the actual engines. Anyways, so yeah, I've suffered through several different
I see
libraries.
the horrors of war.
Yeah, and originally I was going to write the whole back end in DevKit Pro with C. But that's just no.
Just no.
Who would want to actually use a decent language with a toolkit made by someone who's famous for not allowing the modification of his own toolkit? No. We gotta write this completely free of all licenses and interference. We have to switch to ARM assembly. And that's why I'm here where I am.
That's the thing, there are no licenses when there are no products.
Yeah. If there is no product, there is no license.
I was saying, if there is no documentation, there is no license.
That's not always true.
Well, you know what I mean. Not documentation, but like
No product,
tools, no libraries.
Yeah.
No interference.
I have to write my own libraries.
No competition.
It only has some major minor drawbacks. Like
I
the
see.
fact that I don't actually know how to use half the hardware.
I see. You just picked up a DS for the first time and said, "Ah, yes."
Yeah, it's just like this. It's like ARM assembly. Yay! I can print things to the screen. I can draw a couple sprites. Now, how the heck do I use the Wi-Fi card?
I see.
How the heck do I draw things in 3D? Because there's a special mode that you have to switch to draw things in 3D.
Did you? Wait, was it you who sent me the video about the the Resident Evil port on the GameCube? Not the GameCube. The N64.
No, but I think I've seen what you're talking about.
Yeah. So they took a game that so Resident Evil 2
Yeah.
and ported it to the N64.
Mm-hmm.
And that uses like a tenth of its original size.
Have some torches.
Thank you. I was wondering where this went.
Yeah, have you seen Portal in 64?
No, I haven't.
There's another project going on right now. It's a port of Portal to the N64.
Do they think they'll be able to?
It's about 2/3 functional.
I
the
see.
moment. It's got all like the portal mechanics and everything. It just has to have the basically
Shaders.
all it's missing is like enemies and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. Is it a rewrite or a port?
Well, there is no port without a rewrite at this point.
Yeah, not when
It's
you're going
an
that
entire
far
new
back.
engine, but it imports the old maps basically.
I see.
Same. I'm assuming that's the same with the Resident Evil one because there is no way you can't get away without rewriting
No,
the
that-
entire engine.
As far as I'm aware, was in fact a port.
So, for example, like what was it? Like N64, N64 Doom, yeah. Or sorry, yeah, I think it's N64 Doom. That is a completely different game engine, but it converts all the map files and enemy files and everything into a format that it can then read in that other engine, and it plays the exact same way as the other one. It's just a bit
Rewritten.
more optimized, basically.
Use the same physics and all, but had to rewrite
Yeah,
from
it just
scratch.
imports the same files from the original engine. It's just a completely different engine that runs faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
That's
pretty
basically
sure
the
the
same
RE thing was a port. The main cause of the size was not the mechanics, but instead the all the files.
Yeah. Now we're just waiting for Half-Life DS.
Hmm.
Have you seen CSDS?
Nope.
Oh, you don't know the joys of CSDS.
Buenos dias.
No, like CSGO on
Yeah.
the DS. Oh, you don't know the joys.
Does it have multiplayer?
Yes, actually.
That's very epic.
It is the weirdest thing. So the person writing it, this is all being written with DevKit Pro because nobody else thinks ARM assembly is that useful these days.
I see. Just you like, aha, I'm superior.
Did I send you? I did send you that. It was like clout achieved or whatever, and it was just. I'm on the Discord server with all of the DS game devs and stuff. Everyone's like, it's that one guy who writes everything in ARM assembly.
I see.
What an absolute legend! Every
know
time I
you?
get on there, it's like, oh yeah, it's the ARM assembly dude.
They know you.
So there's several messages where it's just like, so most people here write everything in C with DevKit Pro, unless you're this one guy who decided to write everything in ARM assembly.
I see. You're gonna hold on to that title.
Yeah,
I do want to write an assembly. I just wish there weren't two kinds of assembly.
There are actually more than two kinds.
I mean, I wish there wasn't
There
more
are,
than
like,
one kind.
5.
I wish there wasn't more than one kind of assembly.
You're forgetting like RISC assembly, PowerPC assembly,
You
all
know-
the goodies.
So how difficult is it to make an executable game in assembly, either kind?
Honestly, okay, I don't know anything about x86 assembly really, but ARM assembly, it isn't that bad. Which
Okay.
ARM assembly is less work than x86. ARM assembly is closer to like C than it is to x86 assembly.
Okay.
It's its own like weird entity where it kind of just exists, I guess. I haven't tried any of the other assemblies. I briefly looked at x86 though, and x86 is like a lot of
Work.
like 4 main commands to move things around, and I don't know. I haven't really used it. But what I was planning on doing originally was running some sort of like intermediary language, like running C, and then coding everything in C, and then just having it converted to the platform-specific assembly whenever it's compiled, which means you could then compile it for any platform. But the problem with that is it takes forever to actually write all the things to do that.
You know, I think I'm gonna try a little bit of the DS programming at some point. I have decided tonight I will join the dark side because it looks like fun.
So
well, it doesn't look like fun, but it is bragging rights. I will do it. I will follow the path of assembly.
Yes, my child.
And I'll probably have to use your libraries if you wrote any libraries.
So okay, most of the libraries I'm using are from another guy's set of libraries that he's written. And I've just reworked some of them into smaller bits that are easier to use, basically.
I see.
So I've just been going back through and rewriting what he's already written to make it easier to use.
Okay, well, I'll start on fundamentals tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna need to get... You're on Linux at the moment, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm running.
So, Mint. So
Yep.
I'll need to grab you a copy of VASM that works correctly.
What's that?
ARM assembler.
Okay.
Basically,
So Mint,
the one
what is Mint running on? I assume it's. I thought you said
Mint
it was.
is Linux and it's x86.
All right, come here. I don't know if I'm x86. I think so though.
You are on x86.
Okay. I'll have to dual boot into something that's ARM then.
Well, you have to have ARM full. The only way that you can boot into something that's ARM is you have to have an actual ARM processor.
Oh, I forgot. It is a
Or you have to have
process.
an
It is a processor thing. I forgot.
Yeah, you have to, like, for example, the Raspberry Pi.
Okay, well, I've got a Pi 4. That's been
Yeah,
sitting
you just
dusty
have to
on my
come up
shelf.
with all the I don't know where all the header information for that is, though. If not, you can just run a DS emulator.
That might be the best option.
Either that or a GBA emulator. Probably a DS emulator, because I haven't set up all the GBA stuff.
I've got 4 whole views on it.
Yeah, the GBA stuff isn't that hard to set up after you've set up the DS stuff. The guy actually has more GBA libraries, because that's what he mainly focused on, but since I'm focusing on the DS, you know.
Okay.
It's just that much better.
I see.
Yeah, basically what you do, the only major differences between the DS and the GBA in terms of programming are they have different headers, different footers, and some minorly different commands for calling on the screens.
I see. Just different names and such.
Basically, so the DS actually has 2 CPUs. It has an ARM9 and an ARM7 CPU.
How very interesting.
Whereas the GBA only has 1 CPU. It just runs a ARM7.
I see.
processor,
So it's a
which is the exact same processor I think that's in the DS for the second one, because the DS has GBA backwards compatibility.
Alright, I'm full of sand once again.
Alright, just drop it at that chest.
Oh, well, once I pick up some of these torches at least. Kind of made a mess over there, didn't we?
Yeah, anyways. Yeah,
Also,
join the dark side.
On an unrelated note, have you noticed how difficult it is to climb a set of stairs with a jump boost?
Nah, it's fine.
Because you can climb 2 at a time, but it's kind of precise. Like, that's what I've been practicing. You gotta practice.
The only thing that annoys me is the jump boost wears off right about where you're mining.
Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't put in all the beacons over here, because we're getting close to the end. We honestly, I think we'll be able to finish it tonight. Like, let me see how many... Ow. Oh, okay, my jump boost ran off as I jumped over the ledge.
2/3 of the way there, at least.
Why is there a spider? Where did you come from?
I don't know, there's been several
Die.
mobs. There was an Enderman hanging around.
Yeah, I know. I know there've been mobs, but like there was a spider exactly where I was standing.
Anyways, yes, join me on the dark side.
Yes.
Yes. I need to send you more of those messages, but yeah, on the
I have
on
such a
that Discord
strange
server-
coding repertoire now. If I get into this, if I get into ARM, it's gonna be Java,
Java, assembly,
JavaScript,
Java,
and
JavaScript,
ARM.
C++, ARM assembly,
No,
and you've
I'm not
touched
perusing.
Python once.
I'm not perusing C++ unless I have to.
And you've touched Python once.
I don't know if I have.
I don't know. Anyway, Python takes like 30 seconds to learn.
Yeah, I know.
They literally teach it to children, small children.
Yes, because that's what small children need to know.
Python.
No, raise them on assembly, and you'll harden them for battle.
Yes. Raise them on basic or something.
Mm-hmm.
Go
I did
back
like
to the 80s.
I did a little bit of basic
I've done some basic.
on this one thing that I was given a long time ago. I didn't like it very much. I preferred the Arduino. Arduino was home.
I don't mind basic. I mean, it's not my favorite language ever, but I don't mind it.
It was very foreign to me.
I'd give it like, I don't know, 7 out of 10.
Alright, what's a 10 out
Like,
of
it's
10?
good for what it's there. 10 out of 10 would probably be C.
I
Is
see.
a good 10 out of 10.
I was gonna say, you better not say assembly.
No. Assembly is more like a 9 out of 10. Like, if it wasn't so inconvenient and there weren't so many platforms of it, it would definitely be a 10 out of 10.
I see.
Its only issues are that it's inconvenient to have to switch between so many of the platforms.
I see.
Which, because, you know, there's like ARM assembly, RISC assembly, PowerPC assembly, x86 assembly.
Didn't you? Wasn't that documentation you sent me on assembly? Is that what that was?
Yeah, I sent you the ARM assembly one, but that guy has every single type of assembly known to man on there.
I see. I'll have a look at
That's
it.
the guy where I got most of my libraries from. And if you check my GitHub, there should be a template for ARM assembly and the DS on there.
I see.
Basically, all it is it's like the bare minimum you need to run it. And like a little hello world example with a hard-coded font,
I see.
which is why it's super long. It's really short if you ignore the header and hard-coded font and then the footer.
I assume fonts. I think I saw that because fonts are difficult.
Yeah, it was like a whole, okay, the whole thing, excluding the font, the header, and the footer, is like maybe 30 lines.
That's a lot of lines.
Yeah, but considering that, like, all you have to do really, though, is you set up a register per screen in it, which there's a whole library for that. It's just not included in the Hello World thing. So basically, if you were to use the libraries, it would be about maybe 10 lines.
Okay.
For
I was
all of
saying
that.
because I expected you to say like 10.
Yeah, if you use
Tops.
libraries, it gets it down to like 10 lines.
I meant for the original.
And
How many more blocks is this? Because we've got
I don't know. I'd have to look at it, but the font is a good 100 lines.
2646.
Yeah. The font is a good 100 lines of code. The header is a good 50 or 60 lines. And the footer is a good 20 lines.
2646 2561.
How far we got?
Hang on.
And did Ghost just join?
Did he? I didn't hear any sound. I'm in streamer mode.
I heard. No, it's potatoes.
Mr. Potatoes.
Potato!
Minus 2, 5, 6, 1. 85 blocks to go. If we do a full
Hey.
court press, we could get that done in like 20 minutes. Here, you take some torches.
Potatoes has left us. Sad. Very sad.
No.
He joined for like half a second, realized what we were doing, and turned around and left.
Yep. And no
So what
jump
we doing?
boost. This is such a weird area. Alright, so I'm gonna give you some torches. There, take. Cherish. And you do the left, you do the right 5 blocks? No. Is it 10? No, it's
I don't
12.
know,
You
I'm
do
just
the
gonna
right.
keep going. I'm just gonna go like across.
So do the
a
right
little
6
bit.
blocks, I'll do the left 6 blocks, alright?
I will attempt.
Oh, there's water. I'll take care of the water.
Okay. I will attempt to do said amount of blocks.
Alright, yeah, just the right 6. I'll do the left 6. There should be 12.
You know
in
what's
total.
really awkward though?
What?
So it goes 2 blocks, then goes up for another 3 blocks, and then the 6th one is just like over there in its own awkward position.
Yeah, that's the thing about this terrain. The ocean floor is not cooperative.
Honestly, I should just go in a straight line at like this side for a little bit, and then switch over to the other side.
You could, but let me get rid of this.
Get rid of all the, water. Because I've already encountered water just on that one block.
Yep, I'm working on it. So I told you know about the strips of water, right? That happened.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so.
I think there's like 2 left.
Oh, I figured out why. Well, I guess that's why the terrain's so weird, because it's, normally like half sand, half
Yeah,
dirt,
because
or
there is a
whatever.
lot of sand.
That was just naturally here.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyways, yes, you should suffer through assembly. Specifically
Yes.
ARM assembly.
You want just partner in crime.
Yeah, ARM assembly is probably the easiest assembly language to use, honestly. Because it's the most sentient of the few.
I see.
Because, ARM's kind of taking off right now. If you haven't heard.
I have not heard.
Yeah, so basically the thing is, ARM is starting to take off right now because, like with the Raspberry Pi and stuff, they've found ways to squeeze more power out of it while using less power at the same time. If you know what I mean, like total wattage and voltage usage is lower than your average processor, but it
Yeah.
can still squeeze the same amount of work out. So it's more efficient.
I see.
So they're trying to migrate over. Well, several companies are trying to migrate over from x86 to ARM at the moment.
I see.
Like for example, Apple, all their new Macs are ARM based.
I heard about that at least.
Yeah,
Alright. Water is gone.
which they're not faster in everything, and you
Ow.
can still get faster x86 processors. But it's just more efficient, way more efficient, and
yes.
you can get a decent amount of power from it.
Cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah. It's just way better for most use cases. Like, if you want a high-end gaming machine, ARM's not the thing to go for at the moment. But if you're doing something like average, everyday stuff, like programming, or,
I guess average everyday stuff.
Watching
Your average
YouTube.
American.
your average American watching YouTube, playing some games like Minecraft and stuff, that's completely fine. Video editing on it, like the Macs, that's completely fine. Just don't expect to get like an RTX 3060 out of it,
Yeah.
because we haven't gotten that far yet. We can make them
Alright,
out
that.
of cheap plastic and make them the size of a stamp.
Speaking
But we
of
cannot make them
graphics
RTX.
cards,
Yeah.
when do you want to go to the store that I won't name on stream, even though there's nobody
Yes.
watching, no one's gonna hear?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you name it, because there's like 100 locations all over the country.
I just don't want to name the place because. Okay, so but point being, when do you want to go there? What day? Like, first of all, do you want to go there?
Sometime, yes.
Okay. Second of all,
Just
when?
sometime in like the before 2 weeks are up, because then I got school.
Yeah, me too.
So I have the rest of this week and I have next week.
All right.
I mean, I would say, well, I can go anytime this week or next week, probably. Let's see here. but Potatoes has something tomorrow that we're all supposed to be at.
What's that?
Food.
Food?
Food. Because Potatoes' birthday.
Oh, his birthday. I forgot.
Yeah. So, probably not tomorrow.
Don't. Hopefully he doesn't watch stream. All right, I'm full on sand. Could you throw? I'll put it in the chest, I guess.
I am not full on sand. I'm only like 1/3 full on sand. So yeah, just
I'm
go ahead
gonna throw it
chest.
in the chest.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So probably not tomorrow. We could try for like the weekend maybe.
Sure.
That would be a good place to start at, like Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
Because that's a most of a day thing.
Well, I won't be able to do it Saturday morning, but I could do it later Saturday.
Yeah, if I go, so there is one thing I'd like to buy, which is the exact opposite of what you're probably going there to buy.
What do you think I'm going there to buy?
A Team Red GPU.
Well, a Linux compatible GPU.
Yeah, so that'd be Team Red, which is AMD/Radeon.
Radeon. Yeah. If I can find
Yeah.
one, that'd be great. And there is
See, I'm
actually
looking for
another
the-
thing that I'll be definitely having a look at, but I probably won't buy.
Yeah. See, I'd be going for the exact opposite because NVIDIA GPUs have something called CUDA cores, which are optimized for certain workloads. And one of those workloads is AI. So like chatbots and stuff.
I see. So you're just gonna
And
run
I've been
1,000
wanting to mess around with
chatbots?
that. I've been wanting to mess around with that, but I do not have a CUDA compatible GPU.
I assume it's the higher end ones, right?
Just about any of the GPUs work that's relatively new.
Okay, just about any does not mean
Anything
any.
from like 2010 and up.
I mean, does it have to be like any kind of
There is-
high? Anything above dirt cheap?
In theory, no, but it just depends on what you're using it for. Because if it's not a dirt cheap card, it works faster, way faster. But
Well,
if it's
duh.
a dirt cheap card, then you can still do it. In theory, it'd just be really slow.
I was gonna say because my 1030 is sweating right now.
Yeah, my
Because you
RX
remember what
560.
I got, right?
Yeah, I have the RX 560 in my PC, and the only thing that it struggles with is Halo Infinite.
I see.
But that's just because Halo Infinite is so poorly optimized.
It's like right now I can just barely squeeze out 60 FPS with shaders. Like with the shaders I've been messing with, I showed you about that. Just depending on where I am in the world, I can sometimes get 60 FPS. Sometimes I can get more
Yeah,
though.
I can get 60 FPS with shaders.
Yeah, I know.
It's easy.
But like if I
Um,
get anything better than that, which I don't really need anything better, but odds are I'm probably gonna end up with something better.
Oh, if you're going to buy a GPU, I would actually recommend not buying one in store right now.
Yeah, that's the
Because if
one
you
thing
check
about it.
Schliebe at the moment, if you've noticed, there's actually a price recession going on in GPUs because the mining boom is over. Because the chip shortage is at its end. Recently, NVIDIA actually ordered way too many silicone wafers, and now they're trying to sell them off to any company that will buy them.
I can't get Nvidia.
Yes, but I'm just saying that's an example of how the chip shortage is ending.
Okay.
So GPU prices are dropping because of that. The mining boom ended because electricity prices went up.
That's
So a
good.
bunch of GPUs have come out. They're used GPUs, but that means that you can get them fairly inexpensively.
Okay.
So I would check eBay before you do anything, because
It's
if
just
you look,
eBay
the
graphics
prices are
cards.
lower. Yeah, the only thing I'd worry about is, sometimes used stuff can be a bit broken.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, eBay graphics cards doesn't
But-
sound good. I want to have a look.
Basically,
I may
though,
not get anything at
I'd recommend
the
at
place.
least I'd recommend at least looking at that stuff though, because the prices have gone way down recently. If that makes sense.
I mean,
Because used stuff.
I don't know what about that
It's
would
like
make
a third
sense,
of the
but
price.
alright.
Well, it's like not a third of the price. It's like 2/3 of the price of buying new, so you save quite a bit.
Okay.
If you get a good deal.
Remember, I'm making money now. I'm rich.
Yes, yes. Me over here, whose only source of income is from various oddball tasks.
Get a job.
See, I have a job. My job just hasn't paid off yet, is what I like to say.
Is your job game development?
Yes, it's the game engine.
Yes, I see. Pitch that one.
Yeah, I'll
Pitch that
my
one to the powers that
horribly
be.
inefficient engine. See, hopefully, I'd like to have it done by the end of December before next year. Which isn't unreasonable,
Okay.
considering that
Is it
I've rewritten
6?
the thing
It is
several
12,
times.
right? Not 13?
What?
Thick, let me see. Right. Yeah, it is. You're just slow. Okay.
Yeah, because I have to keep getting off this platform to go anywhere.
Yeah, the terrain is awful over there. Not blaming
I
you.
know
It's
there's a
just
whole
work
bunch
is
of
going
sand underneath.
slower over there.
Yeah, and I know there's a whole bunch of sand below me.
Yeah, we'll come back with the fine shovel.
Yeah, like I could go back down there. It's like a 5-block platform underneath me.
Hmm. Chest is filling up. Chest is full. I'll take some back.
Okay. I almost have a full inventory over here.
All right.
Yeah, I can start right now removing the big platform of sand below me.
Ah,
and
fell in
that
the hole
should
again.
flatten it out. That should flatten it out.
Yeah.
And then I should be, in theory, back on level ground.
What? How'd you end up with a mound of sand? Usually I'll end up with like a thing that has sand, but it is.
See, what happened was there was this big dirt chunk, like a big dirt hill.
Oh, I see what you mean. You're just going straight over the end. Yeah,
'Cause
if
I
you need a
couldn't really
shovel,
get
there's
around
shovels
it
in the
very well.
chest.
Yeah, I saw them. But I couldn't really get around it very well. So now I'm just going to go back and knock out at least a little bit of this sand.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, I can just continue on flat from here on out.
Yes, we are in fact almost done with the second layer. Then I can actually set up the pistons
To go again.
to go again. And we're gonna have to do that a lot more times to
This
get
is
the
gonna
whole.
take literal years.
Yeah, this could take literal years. That's the reason I stopped making 1.6 videos. It's just gonna be this endlessly.
Honestly, you need to mod in slime blocks so that you can just have a world eater and just eat all the sand.
No, it'd be using water clearing flying machines.
True. But then you could just, if you use the piston machines to cover the entire thing in sand, then you could just blow the whole thing up, basically.
I need the sand.
But you see, we have infinite sand, though.
Yes, but not infinite time, and we need time. We need time to get sand.
Yes.
Hey,
But
bucket.
it'd still be much, much faster. than
Do you
clearing
still
the
keep up with Hermitcraft?
sand. Not really.
All right. Who was it that kept up with Hermitcraft? It was you or
I mean, I
Ghost?
did for a little bit, but not really long.
I think it was
for
Ghost
like
who
a
did.
3 or 4 month period.
All right, because a lot has happened. Not with Hermitcraft, but with some of the hermits.
Yeah.
Because you know, Grian's life series, right?
I have a general idea. That's the one where he went in like all the caves and stuff, right?
No.
Because all I remember it was Green did this one like real life trip where he went and visited a village.
No,
and
not
he went
real
and
life
visited
stuff.
some
I mean
caves.
his last life, third life.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
Those, the life series is
Yeah.
not real
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
But point being, so he did one that was. What was this one called? Double Life. and it was basically where pairs of people are randomly assigned, and those people take damage together. You know how people do that
Yeah.
with the plugin or whatever. And so, can you guess who Green was paired with?
Mumbo.
No, Mumbo isn't in the series.
Uh,
The one person who everyone was dreading being paired with.
who?
The most accident-prone person on the whole of Hermitcraft.
Trying to think.
Yeah, you really haven't kept up the Hermitcraft, I guess.
I really haven't. No. The
Go ahead.
only I can think of is like B-dubs
Nope.
or Doc.
Although, as much as Green wanted to be with B-dubs, it did not happen. Instead, he was paired with Scar.
Oh yeah.
Good
Scar.
times with Scar. Who,
Yeah.
somehow, they were one of the last, like, 3 teams.
Yeah, I would not want to be paired with Scar.
Yeah,
No offense to him.
Cause Scar, you know Scar.
Yeah, he has this fun habit of almost blowing himself up.
No,
Every
there's
lot.
no almost. There is
I
no
mean, he
almost.
does blow himself up quite a bit.
He not just blowing himself up. He has a habit of dying a lot, everywhere, and in every way.
Yes, it's been forever since I've watched any of the Hermitcraft stuff. I've been busy-ish. Alright,
Mumbo's
my
on
inventory's
hiatus right now. Green's still doing stuff.
Techno is dead.
Yes.
And, yeah. Minecraft.
Not
am
a
I
great
right?
time for YouTube,
No, it really is.
or for you, the average YouTube viewer, or the average Minecraft YouTube viewer. There's just not much.
Yep, the one guy. Well, we had 2 people that we actually look forward to entertainment during these past few years, and that would be Technoblade and Dream.
Dream?
Dream.
What are you
yes.
talking about?
Because it's funny when you get the Techno Dream duo that wipes the floor with everyone.
Yeah, well, that is funny. That's because Techno was there. Because there were,
Yeah.
like
Dream is an
there were
actual,
3 Minecraft YouTubers who I regularly watched. It was Techno, Mumbo, and Green, and now 2 of them.
Yeah.
One of them is gone for good. Another one's on hiatus.
Yeah, I watched a couple of Dream's videos, but they're all really repetitive.
They do get repetitive.
After the first, like, 2 that you've seen them all.
It's like you got to see one from each like segment.
Yeah. Where he does something and then he changes it ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Like, this time, there's 4 hunters. This time, there's
As I
6
was saying, you just
hunters.
gotta watch like one of the 4 hunters one, or one of the
Like, the 3
assassin
hunters,
one.
the 4 hunters one. It's the exact same thing for the most part. There were like 1 or 2 that had different endings, but they were still the same concept.
Mm.
Yeah. Not the most creative thing after you've done it 6 times.
Well, he found something that worked. I'm guessing he's been kind of laying low, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't
after
done
the
much.
whole-
I'm guessing he is he's cooking up something.
Hopefully.
He's letting it cool off, letting the people lie. And I'm be willing to bet he'll come back with something new.
Something new. The same series repeated again.
No, like it'll have to be completely new. Dream is not dumb. He knows what he's
Yeah.
doing. He knows what he's doing.
Well, I mean,
on
he
YouTube.
watched the algorithm for the longest time before he actually posted anything.
Yeah, I know. He do be paying attention.
He do be. Honestly, I want to kind of make a bot that
Hang on,
monitors
that's the
algorithm.
doorbell. I'm gonna be right back.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no, there's people taking care of it. Please don't have revealed my IP. Excellent, it did not. Why am I going?
Anyway.
Oh yeah, I need more food. I'm out of food. Do you need any
Yeah.
food?
I got 29 cooked chicken at the moment, so I'm good for the moment being.
That's good.
For
For the time being,
another,
you mean?
like 30 minutes or so, 30 minutes to an hour, I'll be good.
What do you mean?
I'll probably have another 30 minutes to an hour before I start getting low on food.
Okay, we won't be on that long. I think
No.
like 15-20 minutes.
Depends.
I mean, for me.
Yeah, you're going like twice my pace.
I mean, before I get too tired.
Ah. You should get Tab G.
Maybe.
Not a huge game. I bet Potatoes would join us if we did that.
Yeah.
Tab G or Infinite.
Because he doesn't like fun games.
Tab G or Infinite, or I guess I could get on Reach.
If I can get Reach working,
Yeah, I have Reach. I've only opened the game once, and the controls are all whack.
I mean that's
Thank you.
fixable.
For the whack controls, Microsoft/343 / kinda Bungie, but not really Bungie. Or I guess you could do TF2.
Like, yeah, if there was any shooter, I'd pick up at either Reach or TF2.
Infinite's not really the greatest game. It's just not. It's not so horrible that I wouldn't play it because it's the price of free, which is the perfect price for
Ah,
the
yes.
game.
The low price of free.
Free. But it's not really free because it takes up disk space.
Mm-hmm. Ain't no such thing.
Yeah. Did you see the current inefficiency with Halo Infinite? What
No.
the issue is?
What's the issue?
So you know, like, the banners and the loading screens and stuff in the game?
Yeah.
Did you know it downloads each one of those 2,000 times before it even starts the game?
Interesting.
So it wastes about 1 gig of data every single time you start the game.
And how was this overlooked?
Because the game was rushed.
Smells like it.
Did you not see what happened 6 months before launch?
No.
They scrapped 2/3 of the game 6 months before launch. Which is why everything's so broken and unfinished. Because they had this nice policy where they'd hire 6 different game development companies at random times to work on the same project. And every single time, after about a month, they'd kick each studio off.
Interesting.
So they had like 6 entirely different Halo games. And they scrapped 2/3 of what they had. And then just built this crappy Halo Call of Duty mashup thing.
It could have been a worse game though.
It could have been worse. I mean, oh, did you see Forge is coming soon? And you can actually use Forge right now.
Oh, interesting.
There's a workaround to get Forge to work at the moment, but you can get banned for doing it.
Banned from what?
From Halo for doing it.
From
'Cause
multiplayer?
Forge isn't. I think your account can just get straight up banned from the game.
Like you can't open the game anymore?
You can't do multiplayer, which is really the only.
That's
thing
what I'm
that's
asking, because if you can't do multiplayer, if you can still use Forge, just have a Forge account that got banned, and then make stuff with it at your
Yeah,
discretion.
but you can't.
And then port it.
Forge is useless
Why?
because then you can't play with other people on Forge, and it's just you.
Just port it. Like if you're gonna build a map, just port it.
It's not that simple because to use Forge, everybody on Forge at the moment has to have an also cracked version of the game.
Okay. Well, you can.
So basically,
Why don't
can
you
get
work
to
on the map? Because if Forge is upcoming, why
Yeah,
don't
it
you
comes
work
out
on
in,
the
like-
map now by yourself, and then when it later gets full release, then you can port it.
Yeah, I mean you could do that.
Because then you'll have plenty of time and breathing room to get a Forge map out real early.
Yeah, but I don't think it's really worth the hassle of trying to do it early.
You can make more than one Steam account. They don't know like your full name and address.
No, it's not Steam. It's Microsoft accounts.
Oh well, you know who does know your full name and address?
Yes.
Microsoft.
You see, that's the issue. If it was a Steam account, I wouldn't be so bothered. But it's a Microsoft account.
Ah yes, Microsoft. It's
You
you're
have to,
subscribing
sell
to
your soul.
life.
Yeah. Good old Microsoft. It's just like Oracle, but you have to sell even more of your soul.
Mm-hmm. Gotta sell a body and soul.
Yeah. At least it's better than Google.
Barely.
Marginally. Google's the worst of the worst at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what at the moment you mean.
In terms of bigger tech companies. stealing data.
Oh, you say that at the moment like it's temporary.
You know, there's always going to be a company that comes along and is even worse.
I don't know.
You can get way worse than what Google's doing right now.
I know, but I feel like if it's gonna get worse, it's gonna be Google who's gonna do it.
No. There's going to be, like, Elon Musk's going to create a company that then steals, like, that actually steals your child from you.
I see.
It's going to be like SpaceX Part 3. and it's
Requires
just gonna
one
be,
human
like,
soul to participate.
yeah, you have to, like, sacrifice your firstborn child actually to Elon. Like,
The
Elon
spider's
makes his
after
own
me.
cult or something.
I see.
I could honestly see that happening, not gonna lie.
So, you know about the Twitter thing, right?
He tried to buy Twitter and then tried to back out of buying Twitter, and now Twitter's trying to make him trying to make him go through the deal that they didn't want to happen in the first place. Yes.
Oh, but then they fail that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been keeping up with the whole Twitter situation.
Okay. I haven't been paying too much attention. I thought, like, when I heard about that, I thought that was just said and done, but I guess not.
No. No, so first they had like a whole lawsuit that was like, you're not going to buy Twitter because you're going to do stuff to it. And then Elon was like, okay, fine. And then he decided not to buy Twitter. And then Twitter got all salty and was like, you better buy us and finish the deal.
I see. And then I heard I think I heard this from you, they filed like a lawsuit and lost.
Yeah. It was hilarious. Because first they filed a lawsuit about why they shouldn't have to be bought by Elon Musk. And then they filed a lawsuit about why they should have to be bought by Elon Musk. And I think they lost both of them.
Heh. Well, that's to be expected.
It's Twitter. What did you expect?
I expected that. I expected nothing less.
Yeah, because the first one, the reason they lost was because they reported false numbers about bots.
I see. So they weren't giving actual information.
Yeah, they weren't giving the actual correct information. The second one, the reason they lost was just because Elon. I don't know why specifically, but yeah.
Well, because it was dumb is what it was.
Yeah. I mean, we all know Twitter's employees. They're just a bunch of clowns sitting in a room.
Mm. It's not... This isn't clown behavior. This is the whole circus.
Yeah. They got Dumbo the elephant and everything.
Yep. That's an expression I've found that I've always, like, wanted to use more. It's like, when you've gone beyond clown, you're the whole circus.
And you got the whole circus, man.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to buy anything for my PC. If I buy anything... Oh yeah,
the other thing was I started looking for a laptop because my laptop, which is sitting here with the stream open and not crashing, is kind of going off the deep end, and I need a decent one to do schoolwork on.
You could try and buy Ghosts off the because he's talking about getting a different one.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I've seen what
he's done to it. I'm not touching that.
Just put a different drive in it and forget about it.
I mean, like all the RLCraft stuff. He has put that poor computer through its paces.
Yeah, I have mine still. I use it for like coding and stuff. I don't really use it for anything else. But I still like to have it because then I can take it on like road trips and stuff.
Yeah, like I need to have a portable computer for.
I need to have
college.
it for road trips, for the occasional project.
Oh, another cave.
But yes, currently I do require the use of my laptop.
Yeah.
Which the only thing I would look for if we go to the store that shall not be named is some more RAM for it.
Yeah, like right now I'm in the market for a whole laptop.
Yeah, did I tell you about
I better not start getting ads after I say that.
Yeah. Did I tell you about what's happened to my laptop and Ghost's laptop?
Nope.
So you know how we bought ours like refurb used?
I mean, I do now.
Yeah, we bought ours. We didn't buy ours new.
Oh.
They're from like 2012. You know. They run DDR3L, which is fine considering that like I don't expect to do the highest end gaming on them. This is more for like I want something with enough speed that I can actually have multiple tasks open.
You can have 3 Chrome tabs open.
No, that I can have a good like 20 tabs open. I think.
Well, you know what I
before
mean.
it's just to eat at me. Yeah.
Instead of
Anyways, but
2
it's basically
tabs, you
so,
could
like,
have
yeah.
3.
Yeah, I just need enough to where I can have like schoolwork stuff open and a little bit of coding stuff open and maybe a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Which is fine for that. And it needs to be able to play Minecraft without crashing instantaneously.
Yep.
But for the most part,
Oh, I've
it
got
does
a
that pretty well.
viewer. Well, unless that's you.
No, it's not.
All right.
You have a viewer.
Look over and it says 1 concurrent viewer.
Yeah.
What do you mean my
But,
bitrate's slower than the recommended? Hang on.
Go crank it up.
How do I don't even know how to do that. I had to increase
Are you on
the
Streamlabs or are you on
settings.
normal OBS?
What?
Streamlabs or normal OBS?
OBS.
There should just be a bitrate setting in the stream section.
Can I do that without resetting the stream?
I don't know. I've never tried to, so I just know where it is.
Well, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna let's see. Output. Bitrate.
Yeah.
2500 kilobytes per second.
I think the recommended is like 3.5.
I'll fix it later. The video will be crunchy.
And it's crunchy and it's fine.
Yeah. At least it's 60 FPS.
Yeah, 60 FPS is all that matters, really. 720p at 60 FPS.
Oh, and I lost the viewer.
Oh, no. They were offended by your low bitrate.
They were. The low bitrate turned them off.
Yes, I have
Turn
a
them
viewer.
away.
No,
It's like your bitrate is too low. Goodbye.
Ah, yes. Anyways, so yeah, I think laptop wise, my laptop does okay for what it is. I mean, I don't expect to do anything. But the funny thing about them is the company that we bought them off of, did some minor upgrades to it. And one of the things they did was they hacked in an unsupported CPU that runs at like twice the speed of the stock CPU. So it's hilarious.
I see. So it's just overly juiced.
Yeah. So, while everybody else is like using this laptop with the supported CPU, this has like ultra beef CPU, which isn't even really that beefy. I think the stock CPU was only supposed to run at like 2 gigahertz, whereas this one runs at like 2.9 and I think boosts up to 3.
Huh.
So it's not like the beefiest thing ever. It's just funny that it exists.
It's just like the fact that it's beefy at all.
The fact that it's even slightly beefy, which is it isn't that good, but the fact that it's just ever so slightly beefy is funny. To me, at least. But yeah, so they hacked in an unsupported CPU. And so I found it hilarious, though, because when I did some Googling to figure out some stuff, because I was having some graphics issues, I did some Googling, like, how can I resolve this for my specific make and model? And the funny thing was, I ran across a forum post of a guy doing the exact same thing to his laptop. So I was like, yes! Another one.
We'll follow your career with great interest.
Yeah, it's one of I'm one of the like 5 beings on this planet who have a laptop that's set up so cursed like this.
I guess I must have gotten it from the same vendor.
Yeah, probably.
The back alley laptop dealers.
Oh yeah, back alley Newegg laptop dealings.
Yep.
Yeah, it came mostly okay. I think the charger was broken, but they sent another one because,
Because it's good business.
Because, yeah, good business practices. You had to leave a review after they sent it, but I mean, that's fine.
Is that the condition of sending it?
Yeah, it's like, hey, if we send you one, you gotta leave a good review, okay? And we're like,
see.
okay, fine.
Sounds like it's a very small show then.
Yeah, it was a very small show. It was like PC Recycling or something.
Yeah.
Recycling company. Anyways, which was fine because I didn't need the fastest thing ever. That's why I have the desktop here,
Yep. The desktop can be the fastest thing ever.
Yeah, the desktop, now that needs to have some speed to it. The laptop, Not really.
Mm.
It just needs to have enough speed to do the basics.
Like oh, that's the thing. My desktop's all right. It gets the job done. You've seen my laptop though, right?
Yes, it is the most. Ugh,
What?
it suffers. It
Yes.
suffers with its 4 gigs of RAM. Hey, my old laptop
No,
was even worse
what
than
I was
that.
saying is it's designed for portability. Well, it was
Yeah.
purchased for portability, which is exactly what it is. It's very small.
Yeah. Have you seen my old laptop before my current one?
I probably saw it at some point.
It makes yours look fast.
I see.
It had 2 gigs of RAM instead of your 4.
Whoa, two
Two
whole
whole
gigs.
gigs. Yeah. It had a decent CPU, but it was just so lacking on RAM that you couldn't do anything with it.
And you
Like,
can't
I remember
change the
trying
RAM.
No, because the RAM on this was soldered to the board.
Yep. You could unsolder.
Um, yeah, but by that point, by the time you get all the tools and stuff, and spend the time to figure out a workaround, you're just better off to buy another laptop.
I was gonna say, spite is worth all the money in the world.
Yeah, considering that, like, what I paid, I don't know, I think 150, somewhere 150 to 200, barely pre-COVID for my current laptop. Whereas the other one, I think new was 150 to 200. But that was back in like 2014 when that other one was new. I've had that thing for forever,
I see.
ages. It played many a
Long
game
before
of Tanky.
time had a name.
Yeah, it played many a game of Tanky.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the one thing that always disappointed me was, did I tell you about the story of Garden Warfare 1?
That sounds familiar.
Okay, so back in 2015-ish, I bought Garden Warfare 1 because it was on sale at like Walmart because Garden Warfare 2 was coming out.
Oh yes, when you could still
In,
buy
like, the
physical
next-
games.
Yeah, it wasn't like, I think it was just a code for Origin. Anyways though, so I purchased it. And I was like, alright, I'm gonna go play it on my laptop. Only to realize that my laptop was too dang slow to play Garden Warfare 1.
Yep.
So it sat unused on my Origin account for for a good 5-6 years. Until one day, I finally got a beefy enough PC to actually run the game.
Was it worth it? Was it
And
worth
by
the
that
wait?
point, Garden Warfare 2 was like,
Old.
long released, and Battle for Neighborville was about to come out. Then I bought Garden Warfare 2, and then within the next 6 months, Battle for Neighborville came. So then I bought Battle for Neighborville. I played it about 6 times, and I haven't touched it since.
I see.
Thus is how I have collected just about all of the like Garden Warfare style games. We also got Plants vs. Zombies 1, like the original.
Yeah.
And 2 is just like a mobile game, so we don't talk about it.
Yeah, I've heard 2 is
It's alright. It's just a mobile game.
yeah, with all that entails.
Yeah, so like, mobile ads and stuff. But as a game, it's still fine.
Microtransactions.
Yeah.
That's the deal
Yeah,
breaker
anyways.
on a game.
Yeah. But Garden Warfare 1 though, we got that thing back in like 2012
Did I
on
ever
sale.
did I
Games
ever
Club.
tell you about No Man's Sky?
Did you buy it?
I did. When it first came out,
Oh,
I
yeah.
bought it. We played it on our old laptop. So, Mom has this gray laptop, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so this was the preceding laptop, which is now in like 1,000 pieces. And I still have the hard drive to that one, but this was ye old laptop, the black one.
Yeah.
I got it. It ran at 10 frames a second. I stayed up all night downloading it. It ran at about 10 frames a second.
Oh yeah.
It was an experience, let me tell you. This was
Garden
unpatched No Man's
Warfare-
Sky.
Yeah. Garden Warfare 1 though, on that measly little Walmart special laptop, that was horrible even when it came out.
Yeah.
Like
Junk
it was
when it
like
was new.
bottom end when it came out. It
Junk
has
when
the
it
same
was new.
specs as your
Sort of a
average
thing.
Chromebook.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the 2 gigs of RAM.
Your average
garbage.
Chromebook is pretty low
Pretty
bar.
sad. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, Garden Warfare 1, it ran at a good 5 FPS. What it did run. And it would crash about every 10 minutes.
I see.
So it was just at the point where I was like, even, you know, young me could not withstand it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was saying something for the time, man. But yeah. Yep. Honestly, I kind of want to buy No Man's Sky, but I don't know if I should.
You probably should, cause you know the whole what happened with it. Or do you
Yeah, I
know
got a
what
bunch of updates and stuff.
Yeah, so it was bad when it came out, and then it got a bunch of updates to become what it was supposed to be,
yeah.
and now it's
It's
now it's
actually
pretty
decent.
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I highly doubt
I'm
I'd ever
considering-
retrieve my old account. But
What was it on, like Origin or Steam or something?
I have no idea.
I might buy it.
It
I
has been
consider
so
that
long.
or what's it called?
Alright, how many more blocks do I have to go? 'Cause
That
I'd
one
like-
space game called
Whee.
no, I keep forgetting.
Ow. This
I have it wish
is
listed.
2561.
There's some other. There are 2 games that are in beta right now. Or sorry, one's in like a closed alpha, and the other one's in an open beta right now. And they're basically the exact same
So
game.
19. Alright. I see.
The one of them's called Star Citizen. If you've heard of it.
I've heard
I
of
don't
it.
remember what the other one's called. But the one that is in like open beta type of stage is it's a buggy mess at the moment. Or sorry, no, one's in like an open alpha and one's in an open beta. The one that's in an open beta is already receiving like updates and stuff somewhat regularly, but you have to pay for the updates. That's how they're like funding development, I guess.
I see.
And the other one, to get into the game, Star Citizen, I think, is the one that you have to. This is the one that's in like an open alpha, and you have to pay for a ship. You don't actually buy the game; you buy the ship in the game.
I see. So you
Play
can
the game.
free to play, but
It's
not.
free to play, but you can't play it.
But not
without
actually.
owning anything, which is the weirdest thing. So like you have to purchase.
I don't see that's
one of the
weird.
bundles.
That's just money.
Like you can't get into the game without that. After you bought one ship one time, you no longer have to purchase anything.
You just buy the game.
No, you don't. You don't actually buy the game.
No, I mean, like, why
It
didn't
has
they
the
set it up
equipment.
so you just have to buy the game?
I don't know. You buy the equipment in the game and not the game. But it's
Very-
not free to play because you have to buy the equipment before you're allowed to play the game.
Very interesting. Free to download, maybe.
It's not even free to download. You can't download it until you've bought a piece of equipment.
Very interesting.
I'll have to. Yeah, it's the weirdest system
I don't think weird is the word I would use.
because like it's not like most free to play games. Like for example, Halo Infinite. You buy cosmetics in the middle of the game. It's inside the game. This you go on their website. You buy a ship. And then you, after you buy that ship, eventually, about an hour to 2 hours later, you'll get an email saying, here's how you download the game. And it will give you an account registered to that ship, basically, which will then allow you to download the game.
I'm assuming it was made with the intention of, oh, this is a new way of... It's a way that feels different of purchasing the game, right?
I don't know, probably. It doesn't work very well, in my opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it is.
Honestly, I'd rather just have, like, a flat-out $10 fee for, like, the game, and then you just can't go anywhere without purchasing a vehicle. Even that would be better, in my opinion. Because I think the cheapest bundle's like 40 or 50 bucks. Which, considering it's in a thing in a video game, that's not exactly cheap.
Yeah. Like, AAA games are 60.
Anyways, but yeah, this thing has... Both of these games have been in development for forever.
Hmm.
The other one that's in more of a beta stage where you have to pay for the updates and you just buy the game one time. Um, that one I'm more interested in than like Star Citizen. I think is the one
Yeah,
that's
I've
from
seen
that.
so many of the like space game number 10,000
Yeah,
that just roll out with a great idea of grand scope, and then I never hear about it again.
yeah. So these two, the idea
Just give me
is like
like
simulate
story
entire.
games.
These are like simulate entire universes basically.
That's just No Man. That's just what No Man's Sky did.
Yeah, this is No Man's Sky, but at the same time, it's like supposed to be realistic. Ah,
Ah, yes.
immersion. Yeah, so this, it's like every single thing that can be simulated is simulated. Like, for example, you can actually drive vehicles into the back of your ship and stuff, and you can put anything in the back of a ship as long as it fits physically in space.
Okay.
That's the like beta one, but you have to pay for that because, you can't board your ship actually without paying the extra $30 to board your ship.
Very interesting.
Yeah, because, they gotta fund development somehow.
Yes, and it's not by just.
Kickstarter. No, no, no. That's too much effort.
Hmm. Yeah, one of these
Yeah,
days I'll make a game and it will cost $1 whole.
Yeah.
Or
That one.
it'd probably be free if I make a game.
If I make a game that's like, gonna be on Steam anytime soon, I'd try and make that one puzzle game I was talking about where you can go between the two worlds and solve puzzles
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just Mario and Luigi Dream Team kind of.
Kind of, but I'd like to do that, but actually get really in depth with it.
Okay. Yeah, I
Anyways.
prefer story games like.
Yeah, anyways. I'd like to do something like that. That'd be the only thing I'd release for money, probably. But it wouldn't even be that expensive. It'd probably be no more than $10.
Yeah, because indie games are usually just a couple bucks.
Yeah, except for like, some of the bigger indie games like Elden Scrolls or Stray.
Like what now?
Elden Scrolls?
Huh.
Have you not heard of Elden Scrolls?
I have not.
One of the largest indie games at the moment.
What does it look like?
Skyrim.
Skyrim is called Elder Scrolls. That's what the series is.
Elden, but
Skyrim
this
is a game in the
Elden.
Elder Scrolls series.
No, this is not Elder Scrolls. This is like Elden Scrolls.
You
Or
mean
Elden
Elden Ring?
Elden Ring, sorry, yes. That.
That's a
Mixed the two
Bethesda game. That is not an indie game.
Shh. We do not speak of this.
That is not. That is as far from an indie game as you can get. What are you?
No, you can get even further. Speak with Microsoft.
What's that?
That's like, no, you can get even further from an indie game from that. It's just very hard to.
Yeah, it's hard. Although
Anyways,
I was gonna say like
yeah.
Minecraft, but nope, that was
It
originally
was
an indie game.
and is no longer an indie game.
It is no
Yeah.
longer an indie game.
Yep. But for example, Stray. Stray's an indie game. It's like $30, I think.
Hmm.
So it's not exactly the cheapest game, but it's not the most expensive game either. It's like an average, decent price point for it.
Yeah. I have hope
Um,
of making the ASCII game. No. Do you think I can make the ASCII game in assembly?
You could. That'd probably be the fastest way to run it. Like it'd take longer to code, but you could get it to run faster.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think if I'm gonna do assembly stuff, I'll make something different, like a platformer, like you're doing, and I'll do the ASCII, all the ASCII stuff in Java, because there's a very easy way of doing it in Java.
Did I ever send you the one? It was a Doom clone, and it was written entirely in C. And what it did was it ran completely in the command line, independent of everything else.
I don't
And
remember.
it could like render color textures and things. I think it was restricted to like a 16-bit color palette, but that's fine.
I don't know if you sent that to me.
Basically, a guy made a game engine that runs completely in the command line, and it's entirely written in C, I think. But basically, what it does is it has 3D and 2D rendering. It can render like color textures and things in the command line. It runs at like 30 FPS, I think, is the max cap or whatever. I think you can improve it up to 60, but only in certain scenarios and stuff like that, because, there's a limited refresh rate on the command line.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, that stuff. But it was kind of interesting.
Oh, you know that you know that the ASCII stuff I'm doing is different than that.
Yeah, but what it does is it
I'm-
uses ASCII characters to render the textures.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
It's just that's not.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know. I know what you're trying to do is different.
I know. It's just not some. Not only is it different, it's not interesting.
Honestly, though, it looked pretty cool.
I mean, it's not. It's neat from a technical standpoint, but it's not really like a game you'd want to actually play.
Unless it had something unique in it, now.
Unless it was like an actually really good game.
Yeah, this is just like a proof of concept with the engine. It was a Doom clone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Proof of concepts aren't. That's what most of them are, and it doesn't really. The concept doesn't.
Well, that's just basically a demo for the engine, not an actual game being released.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like 3D graphics in ASCII just looks really harsh, and there's not really a point to it other than a proof of concept.
Less resources used. In theory.
Maybe we could do that just from a window.
I mean, you could. But why would you do that?
Also, if you're gonna do it in ASCII, just do it in 16. Just cast it to 16-bit, like blocks in a window instead or something. See, like, what I
Honestly,
would
you
think
could write your
ASCII
game.
art like that would be really good for. Have you seen Faith?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, Faith was a game made to look like it was on the Atari. I think it was.
Oh yeah, I might have seen it. Did you? Was that what you showing me on Steam? Or was that something else?
I think that might be it.
Yeah.
Could you log out for 1 second? I'm gonna sleep.
Give me 1 second, real quick.
I'm
Collect all the
in
sand.
bed. But
Disconnected.
okay, there we go. We're up. So what
No
Faith?
lag. Edit.
So what Faith did is there's a lot of this, like it is a RPG style top-down game,
Yeah.
but it also has some pixelar animations that, well, it plays into it by being really unsettling because it's a horror game, but
Yeah.
that kind of thing is something I would do by I could use ASCII art. I could use like ASCII pixelar animations. Oops, that's too much. As a part of it, but I wouldn't run 3D. Like full.
Honestly, you
cast
could
of
run
3D.
your ASCII stuff through this engine, in theory. You just
Eh,
have
maybe.
to run. The only thing with my engine that make it kind of weird is I'm gonna make, at least to start out with, I'm gonna start with just ARM assembly to make it simpler. I may add other assembly stuff later. And for the moment being, it's just straight ARM assembly.
Okay.
And you could just run that through like a GBA emulator, and then just make it all one binary. Basically, have a binary inside a binary that runs, basically a GBA binary inside an emulator binary that only runs that one binary. If you're following what I'm saying. So then it would run on x86. It wouldn't be
All I'm
the
hearing
most efficient
is
thing.
all I'm hearing is that it would be hard, but not
It wouldn't be
impossible to make it
hard.
run in assembly if I was really stubborn, like someone else,
well-
else here.
You see, it wouldn't be hard to make it run in assembly if you wrote it in x86 assembly. But the problem with my engine is it's completely an ARM assembly, which is
Yes.
entirely different. So, to convert it to x86, you could just run an emulator to convert it to x86 without actually doing any work, which is what I'm probably going to do at the moment. Or, if you really want to go die hard with the engine, you could actually make it to where it has some sort of intermediate language, like for example C, and you could have it to where it could go to be platform specific, kind of like Unity, and you could have it work on x86 and ARM. That just requires more work and more time.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think I'm just gonna use Java.
Where's the fun in Java?
I will write assembly with something else, but if I'm gonna do an actual game, it's gonna be in Java. I want to
Whenever I
sell
do my
this to
game-
people.
See, eventually, I'd like to expand this engine to where it works on literally anything older.
Okay. See, that's what
Um,
I'd be interested in using it for something different, not this.
Yeah, eventually I'd like to expand my engine to run on literally anything old-ish, older, you know? Um, so, like, I'd like to get it to run on older PCs from, like, the 90s and stuff. Eventually.
Huh, I'm like 5 blocks away. How many blocks do I have to go through? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm 4 blocks away.
Eventually I'd like to get to that point, but for the moment being, I'm just going to start an ARM assembly, and then hopefully I can implement, like, C or something. Or maybe even Python, but I don't think Python's the smartest choice, as it's probably the least efficient.
Yeah.
Because Python, you have to go from Python down to C down to assembly. Whereas with C, you could just go down to assembly. Which the only thing I'd have to do is come up with some sort of interpreter to go from C to ARM assembly. Because I have not found anything that works from straight C to ARM assembly. I know there's a way to do it. I just don't have the time to figure it out at the moment.
Okay.
But that'd probably be the best thing to do. But for the moment being, either way, I'm still going to have to write a bunch of libraries in assembly. Or I guess I could write them in C and then just convert that C to assembly. But it's probably better off just to write them in assembly. Because then it will work with C no matter what I do. Even if I choose not to use C, use some other language.
Yeah, I'm not listening right now.
These chests are full.
I have reached the end. This is it.
I'm still decently far from the end.
Yeah, I know.
As I have had some weird terrain. Which has caused some setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have managed to mostly overcome at this point. I'm actually picking up speed.
Where's the line? Did I remove it? I may have removed it.
Anyways, yeah, you need to...
Oh, I totally did.
Yeah, you need to work on the game engine, you know?
I will.
If it gets good enough, we can monetize it.
And he's saying, let's do the Java one.
Now, the assembly one has a deadline. That's the whole reason I want to get it done.
Alright, you can have fun with that.
Because that needs to be done by December.
I'm gonna do the Java first.
Or at least 80% done by December. The reason why it needs to be done is because there is a competition going on between myself and the other human being who is crazy enough to try on this challenge.
Yes.
Except he is using licensed things that actually require attribution and other garbage. No. We can't have that here. Things where someone could actually yank the thing out from underneath you. No. We can't have that here. Can we?
Ah, yes. Just don't run through an operating system, just hijack the computer.
Yeah. You don't need the actual operating system. You just need a couple lines of assembly code.
Alright. Our journey is at an end here.
Did I tell you about my dumb plan to remove all passwords from my laptop?
No, you did not.
Okay, so you know what brute forcing is?
Yes. Oh yeah, you did tell me about this.
I just want to make like a flash drive that brute forces its way in every single time.
No, I told you what you have to have is just imagine the password is 16 letters long, or 16 characters long, but it is always written in these 4-character predefined segments. So you can brute force the predefined segments. So it's really only four characters long that you're brute forcing.
What I would be finding funny is if the password, if I didn't even have to brute force it, I might just make the password like the entire B movie script is just my password.
Okay.
as like a joke.
As he
Or like a
announces
strip
it
club or
on
something.
stream to nobody.
Well, I mean, it's probably not going to be that specifically.
It just
You
change.
know, it
Just
could be
make
something
like a
from like.
capital letter here and there.
It could just be like, I don't know. It could be Finding Nemo. It could be the script from that.
Okay. Yes, but that's
But
not
the
the
script
copy
from some
pasta.
like animated movie or something, or some just random movie out there. Because there are hundreds of movies.
Yeah, I know. I still think you should do the character chunks.
Yeah, but you know, effort.
Yeah.
Who has joined us?
I'm sorry, I'm a little late to the party.
A little
Hello.
late. A
Yeah,
little
we
late.
are,
Doesn't even
just
begin.
about done here.
I was like,
I
I
was-
was seconds away from turning it off.
Well, with
Yeah,
the
or you know,
is
you
that-
could actually help me finish up my bit of sand.
I have my hand connected.
Oh, okay.
It says reconnection successful. Thank you very much. Here, you take that 3. I'll take this 3.
Okay.
oh, have any of you been around my base?
No, I have not. I have not, at least.
Well, some of the sheep have magically grown their wool back since I logged off.
Interesting. You know, to regrow their wool, it doesn't take time. They have to eat grass.
Well, yeah, I know, but the chunks have to be loaded.
Yeah, but they can eat grass, like, immediately.
That is true, I guess. Well, I have been terraforming, so if you want to check out my base before the stream ends,
I think I might. I'll show it off to our 0 viewers.
We had like one viewer for a little bit.
Yeah, one guy dropped in, and then I started talking about bitrate, and he left.
Then he just left.
He
He
has
was
like,
so disappointed at the bitrate of your stream. He just straight
yeah,
up left.
it was too crunchy. He couldn't handle the crunch.
well, are you gonna come immediately? Because if not, I'm probably gonna make a little trip to the ends.
Am I gonna what?
Are you gonna come immediately? Because if not, I'm making a little trip to the ends.
No, we gotta finish this sand.
Well, I need sand, so
What do you need
You're
sand?
not
Oh, you're
making the sand
terraforming, I
floor.
guess.
yes, I'm making this entire thing flat, which involves the
A lot of
Um,
sandstone.
no, not sandstone, but just sand in general.
Okay, are you going to use sandstone? I would recommend
have-
it if you're terraforming.
I have used a whole bunch of sandstone. I'm gonna make like sandstone paths through the sand, but I'm gonna make the main thing like really flat. I want to make it just like look really cool, like on the inside.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
saying,
kinda
don't forget to craft the sandstone first, if you are.
I've already used a whole ton of sandstone. When was the last time you've been at my base? It's basically sandstone and stone bricks.
I know, but I'm saying, if you're gonna transport sand from the end, craft it in sandstone first, so you can carry more.
And there's a double chest of obsidian on the base.
Okay, did you mine that?
I mined one of the end pillars. Remember?
Oh
That's how I
yeah.
got so much. I think I mined one of the 5x5s.
We need to set up an obsidian farm.
We can. That's an eventual plan, but not yet.
Well, we need to set up the witch hut first. That's more important.
Why?
Because you need redstone, I need redstone, I need glowstone.
How do you know I need redstone?
Because you use redstone like if there's no tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but I've been reusing redstone. Like all the redstone in these pistons, I can reuse.
Plus, you're probably going to need it for something else anyways if you build a whole bunch of big farms.
I
You're
will
gonna need
eventually need redstone, but not just yet. We'll get to it eventually. Maybe the next stream or something.
These are the last 3.
Yeah, that should be all.
more. Neither of you will let me build the farm, of course.
I mean, you can try.
It'll be janky.
How does this thing still work? Do you have the chunk loader just always running in the world or something?
How does what still work?
The sand. How is it still duping sand? Do you always just have it running?
Oh, is it still running?
It appears to be.
That shouldn't be working. Hang on.
No, don't turn it off. Keep it on. We're almost out of sand. I almost took all of it.
No. It's not supposed to be running. I thought I turned it off.
Well, it was on this morning. I'm pretty sure it still is, unless some of the hoppers just clogged or something.
Hang on. Gopnik, come with me. We are to investigate.
Why? Do not do that. Keep it on. I need
Onward.
the sand.
I'll turn it back on if there's no issue.
There is no issue. What issue would there be?
Because if it's running constantly, it loads the platform in the end. That would be a big performance hit.
To the server.
Yes.
Fun.
You know, you should have built your base above an end portal. That would be really interesting.
Why?
I don't know. I may build a second base above one of the end portals, I guess, since you've already found all 3.
You can. Just don't build it above the one with the duper.
Well, I guess I have a bigger problem. This base is almost completed from the exterior, but the interior still has a long way to go.
Yep.
Well, I still got to put on the towers, but I have to fix this last pyramid. I'll show you when you get here. Because it is giving me OCD, to be honest. So I don't want to get
I wish
anyone...
I had that on video.
What, me? You
Yeah,
you do have that on video.
No, I mean from my perspective.
My failed jump.
Yeah. That looked great.
Not again.
Actually, wait a second. I do need the sandstone, now I think about it.
Who put this minecart here? Did you do that?
It was just there.
I doubt that.
I mean, it was there when I walked by, so
I mean, I didn't put it there.
I didn't either.
It's full of sand.
I didn't place it.
I mean, who would
I
need that
put
much
sand
sand?
in it, but I did not
other-
place it.
I mean, who would need
Okay,
sand?
well that mystery will have to wait another day. We've got another mystery to solve.
Like,
How
yes,
far
I'm
away?
the man who put sand into it, but no.
Actually, let me get the rest of my tools and stuff.
I mean, who would need sands? What kind of person would need a whole bunch of sands?
I guess totally not the major players on this server.
Well, the major players are basically just you and me at this point, because no one else gets on.
That's what I'm
Get on
saying.
whenever other people are on.
Slav sometimes gets on, but he's not consistent, and he doesn't have a main goal.
I do have a goal. I just don't spend the time.
Your goal is to sow chaos
Yes.
and chicken.
I also built a bridge,
The
but it's
anti-vegan.
not finished yet. I made it out of obsidian, which is very expensive.
A bridge? Yeah, that'll be expensive.
Well, I haven't finished the bottom pillars, but I still have a couple stacks left from... that should get me through the pillars on the bottom, but I
Alright.
can just mine the rest.
I'm on my way.
So my
I
base
shall
or
follow.
to the
Alright.
end portal.
Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm 90% certain I remember which end portal it is. It's the third one I found.
Oh, I just realized I was screaming, basically, because the sound was on. It was very loud.
Okay. It didn't sound too
Ah.
bad.
No, I felt like I was screaming.
I mean, I
Okay.
have you turned down, so
I don't have a bad microphone anymore. You don't need to do that.
The funny thing is, it doesn't actually sound that much different because of Discord.
it sounds the exact same.
Well,
here's the thing.
until you start yelling, then you can tell. But
I mean, if you guys want, I'll pull out the old webcam mic next stream just for old times.
Honestly, I
yeah,
love-
we'll have to do it for old time's sake. I needed
Honestly,
cobblestone.
I love Discord's audio compression.
Yeah,
No,
because
I'm
it
gonna-
it levels the playing field in terms of audio quality.
Yes.
No.
Your
I'm gonna
$10,000 mic means nothing when you all have the same like 20 bit rate.
No, you know what I'm going to do on the next stream is I'm just not even going to play Minecraft while you're streaming. I'm going to be in the Discord call making a Hyperpops song revolving around the Emsa knife.
I see. Propaganda this is.
I'm going to put a lot of overdrive and auto-tune on it.
I'm gonna like go here for a minute
Go where?
to go do something.
Okay.
I should be gone for like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes.
Let me out. I'm clipped it in the block. Let me out. Okay, here we go.
I am running out of food. I
I've-
have better salt.
I've got food. I can bring some.
Well, I'm vegetarian, remember? I can't eat steak.
Oh, well, I've got steak.
I can only eat bread, carrots, and potatoes.
Okay, so the farm is not running, which is a very good thing because if it was running, it has been running for a long time.
Well, it has to be glitched because I'm staring at one of the chests and it's magically filling up somehow.
Well, there's no sand appearing up here. I thought you meant there was sand, like, showing up.
Well, it's just... Oh, well, it stopped running.
Well, you probably opened a, Yeah, when I was last in here, I stole a bunch of sand, and then I unloaded it, so it must still be draining.
Oh, we need more sand now.
You want me to run the farm? I can go turn it on.
Well, I guess. Are you still streaming?
I am.
Maybe one viewer will join right before the end of this.
You could open it, boost the rates.
But also, drop my frames.
Yep. Well, they don't call us the frame droppers for nothing.
And Slav's frames as well.
He'll be fine.
I
I still
wonder
need to
how
make an Enderman farm, don't I?
We still have a long way to go with just everything. Nope, I think we're sand dry almost at this point. Oh, this one's completely full. The one behind the cobblestone, there's just nothing in there.
Yeah,
just
there are a lot of full chests in there.
Well, there's some that are just empty, and there's some that are just like completely full. And just
Yeah, I know,
nothing
because I came and I got some sand.
I did as well. I've been mooching off the sand for a while.
Yeah. Well, it's free sand. It is quite literally free.
I mean, plus you can produce it really fast. We need to make like a faster system for it though, just to see how fast this thing.
What? I can only put a. I can only put a duper on two of the portals because the third one is too close to bedrock. I have to break bedrock.
I'm back. Had to go take my meds.
I see. The drugs.
That sounds really bad to the streamers.
So many guests.
For the 0 people watching at the moment, for context, just had surgery.
Oh yeah.
So meds.
He's dying out here.
You never know. There could be some die-hard MCVL fan that makes a comment on it. I wonder who that'd be.
Ah yes, who could do that?
I
What
mean,
die-hard MCVL fan is watching right now?
We need to put beacons in the end at this point as well.
You could.
I may do
I
that.
saw the MCVL head for about half a second.
You just watched me flash by.
Well, the other thing is we don't have enough iron to do that. Really.
Alright.
I'm gonna go back to my base.
Someone needs to build a faster iron farm,
The sand has begun.
but I can't build farms, as we've learned.
So is the
So-
sand thing still on?
So can you go up and look at the platform and tell me if the sand is flowing?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I just came back from the end, literally the second you said that.
Oh. Well, I'll go through the end because it will make a mess if I don't turn it off now.
Are you gonna come over here to have a look after that?
Yeah,
Is it still on?
it is. And it's... Okay, there we go. Now it's off.
Not gonna lie, after the surgery, you know, they give you like, sometimes they give you roids.
Yeah. A little bit of the
Oh, yeah.
roids.
Oh yeah, that was a great experience, man.
I'm actually really close. I can just go back into the portal.
You know, I'm just
I was
gonna
on
place.
roids for all of like, I don't know, 6-7 hours.
I see.
great.
Did you feel stronger?
Oh man, yeah. Like literally, so you know how after some people are on anesthetic, they're all like loopy.
Yeah.
I literally got up straight out of the chair, walked straight out to the car, not loopy in the slightest, and just walked back home
It's just
out of the car.
absolutely fine.
Yeah, I just got up and was like, all right, I feel no effects. Like at first I was a little bit tired, but besides that, I was completely fine.
Slav,
Absolute
that-
unit.
Slav, I think that's a genetic thing since we're related.
Yes!
because I didn't have the same thing either. I basically had the same reaction.
Got him.
Now you were just whiny.
I was conscious though.
Oh yeah. I don't know why, but when it comes to like anesthetic, I'm an absolute unit.
Mm-hmm.
Like caffeine, it'll about kill me. Anesthetic, nah.
Yeah, he's too awake.
Feel a thing.
If you make him more awake, he goes crazy. But
Yeah.
you can't put
If
him to
you make
sleep.
me more awake,
He will
I
not
might
sleep.
just die. Yeah. They can't knock me out, but they can make me normal.
Yes. It can bring you down to mortal.
They can bring me down to a mortal level of.
Alright, I'm here at the base. I may be invisible.
They can bring me down to a mortal level of consciousness, but nothing
Mhm.
else.
So, Ghost, where are you at?
I think he just left to do something. Yes, he did.
I mean, he's still on the server.
Yeah, his account's logged in, but he just left Discord for a second.
Okay. Well,
If you
I'm
look,
here.
He's muted. I may just go like raid your base for iron.
Okay. Don't take any of the blocks. Take from the iron chest.
Yeah. I need a new set of leggings, but I have a new set because I made like 50 sets of armor. There we go, a fresh new set of iron.
I see. Yet another.
Yeah, if you don't know, I have an entire chest of just iron armor.
That doesn't surprise me at all, somehow.
Unused iron armor.
So, I have a question. First of all, do you have op on the server? I assume so.
I do. What do you want me to do?
So, basically, here's what I want to do. Is AFK for sand once we're all done here. Because I need two accounts. I need 2 accounts to do that. My alt account is still unconverted. And, I was just wondering if you go AFK in the end, I'll go AFK in the overworld, and whichever one of us gets back on first, just slash kick the other one and get off.
Only one slight issue with that.
What?
So the time is currently almost 10:30.
It is
The
not, in fact,
desktop
almost
is-
10:30. It's 10:10.
No, it is 10:12, which is close enough to 10:30 by the time we get off.
Alright, fine.
So by the time we exit, it will be around 10:30. So I usually try and get to sleep by anywhere between 11 and midnight. So, and the desktop happens to be in the same room where I sleep. It has blindingly bright lights on it, and is also very loud. So I will not be able to AFK, and the other reason why I can't just use my laptop is because that is sealed away in another room.
I
So
see.
to speak.
You know,
And
my
I really don't
computer
feel
is
like
also in the
leaving it.
same room and is on all the time and is also
Like I could, in theory.
bright.
See, here's the difference. Yours has a side panel. Mine does not have a side panel. So the lights shine directly at
Oh,
my
you have
bed.
interior lights, because I have the power light, which is really bright.
I have
and
the
my
power
mouse.
and the disc reading light, like the disc activity light that are on. I also have an RGB mouse.
Beliz House.
And I also have RGB on my motherboard. I also
Blue.
have a power LED on my GPU. And all of these things, including the power button on my monitor even, reflect directly into my line of sight as I am sleeping.
I see. Yes.
I've learned this the hard way, so that's why I turn my desktop off every single night.
What, can you just not do this, or am I just fat? I guess you just
Oh,
can't
yeah.
do it.
Speaking of PC cases, I might 3D print a different case for my PC sometime soon.
Can you not? Is my character just fat? What is this?
What? Does he just not fit?
I can't.
Does he
So
just,
there's a
like,
trapdoor
not-
at the top of this ladder, right? And I just
Yeah.
can't get. I can't climb past it. Like, you know how normally it'll let you climb past?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not letting me past it.
Yeah. Oh, did you see Hypixel Technoblade Memorial?
Hypixel what?
The Technoblade Memorial.
I heard about it.
So there's, memorial going on for Technoblade, and you can actually write a letter to his family. And the Hypixel, like the, Simon from Hypixel,
Yep.
will print every single one of the, it's a one-page, you get to write one page out of a Minecraft book, and every single one of those will be sent to Techno's family at
I
the
see.
end of this month, I think. I already put mine in, so...
I may well have to do that because I haven't been on Hypixel in a long time. Okay,
Anyways, yeah.
I'm gonna fix this travesty of a trapdoor situation first before I do anything else.
What was I going? Oh yes, that's what I was going over here to grab. I was going to get some more of my non-organic, most environmentally harmful chicken.
Ah, yes. The slaughterhouse over there.
The tumor.
Slaughterhouse 4. Or Slaughterhouse IV, more like.
Yeah. Slaughterhouse IV, Slaughterhouse.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
no.
IV, Slaughterhouse IV.
Slaughterhouse IV.
That you should
Yeah.
put a sign in front of it. And that's what the name is. I'm just
Honestly,
gonna
I
call it
just,
Slaughterhouse IV.
Slaughterhouse. Sorry, IV. Slaughterhouse IV.
Yeah.
Or should it be Slaughterhouse IV, Slaughterhouse?
I mean, the full name should be IV Slaughterhouse IV, but for short, just call it Slaughterhouse 4 or Slaughterhouse IV.
I'm not even gonna bother putting a sign up. I just find it funnier calling it the tumor because there's like everything else that looks, normal, nice, and there's just the tumor.
Yep. It has been built upon quite a lot.
Oh, I forgot about this place. I completely forgot that this place exists.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we've had people on here for long enough that there's kind of been messes made that no one remembers who did it.
No. I remember I built this little house into the side of the mountain right next to the spawn base, and then like potatoes grew 40 billion trees, and so now it's almost invisible.
I see. Why is there a
Completely
skeleton?
forgot about
Oh, the
this.
wither. How did he do this? I have
Who's
several
Ghost?
questions.
Ghost?
Yeah, he has wither skeletons in his base.
I don't know. It's Ghost. He does dumb things.
Yes. Anyway, I'm gonna come back to base and then get off.
Alright. So,
I've been denied.
but before you go, game engine, you must suffer soon.
Yeah, let me do the Java one first, as I said.
But the Java one does not have said deadline. The Java one's just like, freedom, no deadlines, no nothing.
Java one
And
is,
there's just
yes,
the
I'm gonna
one,
make a
which is
game
just
and make
suffer.
money.
Honestly, if this engine ever gets good enough, which it probably won't be for a while, I might try and monetize it.
Yeah,
If it gets good enough.
don't let
Probably won't
anybody
be for a
modify
very long
your...
time.
Oh wow, your QR code is, it's looking great.
It's there, but kinda.
It's looking, there's a little bit of it left.
I haven't really finished building it ever.
Yeah,
That's why it's like that. It's like a third of the way done, if I remember correctly.
it's got a lot of netherrack in it.
Yeah, because that's the scaffolding that I was using.
It looks lava casted, it's so bad, but it's netherrack.
Yeah, it's because every single time I do something, I go and build it, and then it gets blown up by like a gas while I was building it, and that's all the scaffolding.
You just get
I need to go
discouraged.
remove all that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
needs to be removed.
Not the actual thing, but all the netherrack does need to be removed.
Yeah,
The actual QR code needs to be finished.
it's kind of a disaster.
It's almost done. I just need to source a bunch more obsidian.
Are you in the overworld?
Yes.
Oh, I was hopping
You want me
in
to sleep?
bed. Sure.
I'm right next to a bed.
If you're near a bed, hop in.
I'm in a bed.
And I am glitching. Okay, there we go. I am in bed.
I'm in a bed. I'm also in a bed.
Oh, Ghost is still here. I'm gonna...
Kick him.
Yeah. There we go. Problem
There we
solved. The problem
Yeah.
has been dealt with. Alright,
Yep.
where should I log off? I'll go over here by the sand. I wanna revel in the glory of no
How
sand.
much
I'm
sand
probably
is
I'm
there?
probably gonna set up the sand placer tomorrow. No,
Yeah.
not tomorrow. Maybe Thursday.
Oh yeah. In this version, I forgot that you can make infinite.
Oh, there are likes on
obsidian.
there are likes on the stream. Did you like the stream?
No, I did not actually.
Oh, so the two people who joined must have liked it. Very nice.
Maybe ghosted.
He might have. That might have been him now that I think about it. That makes it
Also-
a little less special.
Shh. It was two random people.
Yes. Two random people. Why is there another chest minecart? You're doing this because you ran out of chest
No.
room.
No, I went to place something in the hopper and a chest minecart fell down.
Oh, I bet I know.
There are chest minecarts in the ceiling. That's my only explanation for this.
Yes, I see. I bet that's why. Cause 'Cause I'm pretty sure all the chest minecarts that were up there are not up there anymore. Let me make sure, because there was a system. Oh, there are still some up here.
So that's where they're coming from.
Yeah. Are you sure these aren't yours? Because it's just mysteriously been appearing.
No, I've just put stuff in the hopper and then they just fell down.
Yeah, like every time I come back here, there's another.
Yeah, the one will fall down and I'll just be like, okay, and then fill it
Yeah,
with sand. That's all
because
I know.
the piston, I have like a very simple redstone system set up there, so that whenever it's meant to be that whenever a hopper minecart is empty or a chest minecart is emptied by the system, it pushes it over. But it does that by sensing an item, by sensing a lack of an item in the hopper, and then a new item will appear from the next chest minecart, right?
Effort.
So that's what happened.
So we have figured out the mystery.
Yes, mystery has been solved.
Anyways. So yeah. So how far are you gonna go with your game engine?
Well, I want
Do you
to be
just
able
want like
to
a bare bones one, or do you want like an actual full-on game engine?
No,
like
I'm not.
doing
You're not
with
going to be able to drag and drop blocks or anything. This is not Unity. I just want one that I can use and manipulate, and maybe use
See,
more
what
than
I
once
wanna
for
do-
games.
What I want to do with mine is I don't want it to be quite the same as like Unity, because Unity's now gotten to a point where you can get away without touching code at all,
Yeah, I know that's
which
the
I think
thing.
is dumb.
Yeah,
I find that
you
dumb.
need to be meat in order to use my game engine. You have to know You have to know what's up. You have to
I'd
know
like to.
you have to know not only how to code but also how to think like me.
What I'd like to do for my game engine is I'd like to get it to a point where like the only thing I want my game engine to be able to accomplish on its own is to handle some like basic sprite rendering, where you can just like basically just pull an image into the game engine and then just drag it over into the window, and it will show the sprite on screen so that I don't have to worry about placing sprites. I
I
want it to be able
see.
to handle tile engine stuff, and I want it to be able to handle collisions. And then linking a bunch of the things together, and then some minor scripting stuff, and that's it. So basically, all I want is just a tool to help me visually see where I'm putting stuff, so I don't have to individually place things by hand.
Okay. Well,
That's basically all this is for the moment.
on that note, I think I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna end the
All right.
stream.